Jeremy Hambly is in hot water. And last week, where were we? Can someone help me remember where we were at last week? I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say that. Oh, that's right. Okay. That's right. You're put okay. Let's wind this back because a lot of stuff has happened, and many people listening and listening to this offline will know what's happened already because it's what everyone's talking about. But let's set this back to last Friday as the custodian of records. And what was happening is that Jeremy Hambly was issuing a challenge to PPP. And he has done this many times, where he's begged Andy Worski and PPP to allow him on the Kino Casino to have a debate. However, working against Jeremy Hambly is the fact that he's been around for a very long time. And a long time ago, when Jeremy Hambly was openly talking about trying to deplatform or channel strike Mr. Medicare, Keemstar snuck Medicare into a call with Hambly, which he was not expecting Medicare to be there. And the resulting conversation was this very passive bullshit non-tent where you never got the satisfaction of seeing Matt Jarbo put down, or Matt Jarbo was embarrassed of what he had done. He was humiliated by everyone dogpiling him. He voluntarily relinquished his report history to show that he had flagged people. And then he was convinced by Medicare to say that he is a Soidful bitch, which he did. And this is a iconic moment in IBS history because it was so satisfying. In this time of censorship, everybody saw a Randall, a traitor, a line crosser, be humbled. And it was honestly a morale boost that everybody needed, which is why it is held in such high esteem many years later. Hambly knows better than Jarbo in regards to self-preservation and would never allow such an event to happen, as indicated by the fact that when this exact series of events happened before with Medicare and Keemstar blindsided him with Medicare, no such relief of tension was ever felt. Hambly admitted to doing no wrong and just kind of said, "I like you, Jim," and that was the end of it. So, point being, long story short, many years later, when Hambly is offering to PPP to have a conversation with him, PPP knows better and knows that there's nothing to be gained from this. We're never going to see a comeuppance for Jeremy Hambly in that conversation, and it would only give him an opportunity to shill Coffee Brand Coffee in his streams, and then after nothing is achieved, he'd walk away and say, "Well, I promoted my stuff, and therefore it's a win for me. Haha, suck it, Kino Casino." And PPP was smart, I believe, to not allow this to happen. But Hambly, for whatever reason, reached out through me to talk to PPP because we do a little thing every month. By the way, I don't think the Easter stream is happening. I think that it's a little bit too personal for PPP, so I apologize that I hyped that up because I don't think he's interested. But I know him, and I have a way to contact him. And Hambly, for whatever reason, and I honestly don't know what it is, I try to be really fair to people, and I think I just sound very meek and mild and inoffensive when I speak on my podcast. I say like crazy shit. I'm like a monkey with a typewriter. I say everything possible. But I think I come across as very like reasonable and relatively nice. And so there are certain people like Ricada who feel that I can be manipulated. And what's frustrating to them is that when they try to talk to me in private and convince me to do things for them or convince me of certain perspectives that I believe are wrong, they realize that underneath this vocal fry is somebody who is very, very, very wary of absolutely everybody all the time. And I am extremely wary to being used, especially used in a way that is a negative impact on my website and my community. So Hambly's messaging me, and he's asking that he wants to debate PPP. I talked to PPP. PPP reiterates a point that he said many times that he'll only talk to Jeremy Hambly in public on stream if he's going to bring his tax records and allow Caleb Hammer or some other CPA type person to audit his finances so that we can really see what has been the core contention. Because it might be lost on people by now, but PPP's main criticism of Jeremy Hambly is that he is a what I've called Schrodinger's beggar, but you can call it's also like DSP if we're gonna name it. We don't have a name for it, but like I call it Schrodinger's beggar. You can also call it pulling a DSP, something like that, where simultaneously, and this is an observation I've made many times. I started making it with Wings of Redemption actually, Because Wings of Redemption would constantly go, I just want to stream and have a good time, have a good game. I don't make any money. I'm going to lose my house. And he like cries about his money. But then if he gets A-logged, his response to the A-log is, I own my house. I make consistent income. Everything's fine. I'm better off than most people if you want to know the truth about it. And it's just like, on one hand, he's constantly one step away from imminent financial collapse. And on the other hand, he's just fine, depending on who he's talking to and if he wants to present a bold face or if he wants to elicit sympathy. DSP does this, and Hambly does this, where Hambly did a video saying that he put Coffee Brand Coffee infrastructure for building a coffee roasting company from scratch with all his own equipment at an enterprise grade. Cost him I think it was like $300,000. It was an obscene amount of money to put on a personal line of credit. And he was basically saying that he put all this money into a company and it never had a chance because his coffee got review bombed by leftists. And he was saying that he needs money and he needs people to buy his coffee and he needs people to support him because he's under attack, which makes it seem like he's in financial straits. I had to humble myself because I don't like talking about money at all. And talking about money puts my forum under a financial attack vector with more precise information that enemies have. But I had to say earlier this year, like, look, we have to hit this goal because that's what's needed for me to host this website. And it's kind of, if you have to do it, you have to do it. And Hambly showed his ass and said, I need this money to continue my operations, or I have to fire Hannah Claire and Melanie Mack and Luke Randowski, who got fired anyways. And I need it today. And then immediately after this, he went on and he said that actually he owns 20 plus Rolex watches. He has a private jet. He has a fancy saltwater aquarium. He has a mansion. He does have a literal mansion. People know where he lives. It's like a 11-bedroom house or something fucking absurd like that. And he's just constantly showing off his wealth. And he spends his free time unboxing Pokemon cards, which are very expensive these days. And it caused this sort of hatred that only comes from witnessing a Schrodinger's beggar, someone who begs for money because of imminent issues, and then also lives an extravagant lifestyle despite that. And all PPP has ever wanted from Jeremy Hambly is to see the actual specifics of his financials, to ascertain if he's actually in imminent risk of financial collapse at all, and if he is it because of his lavish lifestyle choices? By the way, Jeremy, one of the things that really pisses me off about Jeremy Hambly is that he constantly makes offers to pay for stuff. And the first time he did this with me was during the Nick Rekieta body cam footage. I noted that it would be several $1,000s to get this footage from the police because that's what they quoted me. And Jeremy Hambly offered to pay for this footage. And I started the Old Glory Alliance Gibson Go thing to pay for the footage. I met my goal of $6,000. I shut down the thing, and Jeremy Hambly didn't offer a penny. Jeremy Hambly offered to pay a bunch of money towards our recent legal fundraising. Never paid a penny. And he's continually offered, just let me know. Just send in the word if you ever need any money. He's never given me a penny. He's never super chatted my fucking streams. Like, I've never received a cent from this guy. And he seems to, I think what he's saying is like there's subtext here where it's like, if I want his money, it's not good enough for him just to send me $5,000 in the Gibson Go like Tricky Tom did, who had far less reasons to ever support my fucking streams ever. But he sent $5,000 without any kind of acknowledgement for it on the Gibson Go, just like everybody else did. But he wants me to like ask him for it because he wants there to be like an exchange, a subtext agreement that I'm taking his money and therefore I owe him, which I'm never going to do. Because even outside of the strictly moralistic aspect of pay for play like that, taking any of his money is punching a hole straight through the site. The site's dead. If I ever do something like that, the site's just dead. So it's never worth the risk, even if it would be something I would be amenable to, which I'm not. But he doesn't seem to understand that, despite being a business major. So that was where we were at on Friday. Hambly seemed really shooken by recent revelations regarding a bull named Adam Sellner, I believe his name. And was it Seller or Zellner? I think it was Zellner. So, yes, he did get $5,000. It's not a joke. Or someone using his name did, but I think it's actually him. Seller. Okay, so Seller is a Jewish guy. Hambly has known him for 10 years. And in the time that he's known him, Seller has gotten a criminal history regarding domestic violence. I think even a restraining order from someone in his family who was like 59 years old at the time. And during the time that Hambly has known him, he has also posted on a lot of hot wife subreddits, apparently, based off what records we have. And he's very active in the cuckolding scenario as the other man. And in fact, he actually participates, apparently, in bisexual cuckolding, where he will assist in or allow other men to assist in him receiving a blowjob from their wife. So just the most like degenerate, pathetic cuckolding type lifestyle from the perspective of a bull during the time that Hambly has known him. And what kind of amplified this message that he was in a relation or he had a bull was that his marriage is on dubious grounding. His wife has been trying to conceive. They have no children. They've been married for a very long time, and they've never had any fruit from it. He openly opines after every single woman on his streams, and it is sort of just a rumor in the influencer community that they're in an open marriage that has been dead for quite a while. And chances are they're both seeing people or something like that. So that's where that came from. And that catches us up to last Friday. I've just repeated stuff up until last Friday. That weekend, I was enjoying my weekend. I was watching a movie. I was having wine. And while I was watching my movie, which I didn't even get to finish, by the way. It was that new Korean film by I think his name is Park Sung-woo, the guy that made Old Boy. Didn't get to finish it because I was interrupted by Jeremy Hambly. I get to enjoy things, okay? I have to relax. I have to pay taxes, and I can't mentally take it, so I have to drink it. Anyways, I got a shower text from Jeremy Hambly, and he was saying that, well, this is Sunday. Okay, so let me wind back. Before I got the text, this was also happening in public. So there was like a dual chimp out, okay? There was like the public side of this and then the private side of this, which is what he was messaging me. Quartering says, all my heroes in content creation have been fooled by Pakistani bot farms and are selling their soul. I've never felt more confident in my positions, and it's because I can see it, and they refuse to. Then he posted this publicly. If I actually wanted to get them banned, easy. I don't want that. I want their ridicule. It's funny and they're good at what they do. I don't think it's crazy to ask them to leave my wife out of it. Their YouTube channel is literally a walking TOS violation ran by a ban evader. I don't think it's crazy to expect two other grown men to understand that my wife, who is not an online person, to be left out of things. The more they push it, the more I want to become the villain they already accuse me of. PPP in this message says, a final point for Jared tonight as he cries out about being bullied and harassed on the lowercase I internet, i.e. people mocking him, pooping his pants, and being a cuck. You can't post Jack Murphy's sex tape constantly and make over 100 videos on Brie Larson and then cry when other people make fun of you. Quartering responds to this says, I think making fun of me is totally in bounds. You guys have spread disinformation or disgusting, vile lies about my wife, and you literally retweeted a Photoshop picture of her, someone who's not on the lowercase I internet. Which one? She could be on the main one, however. I strongly dislike you, but would never dream of bringing your family into anything. And then he's spurring about Iran, but that's not relevant. So that's the kind of pretense to this. Jeremy has had enough. It is the cuck's rage. He is going to lash out against the PPP and give them what for. His wife is under attack by the radical Kino Casino. He made these other tweets. He says, if these clowns keep going after my friends and family just because they don't like me, totally fine. I will, in fact, take everything they have and never apologize for it. Take everything they have and never apologize for it. Psycho weirdos are messaging my wife, calling her phone. People are harassing my friends. Roast me fine. there used to be a line. He used to me a line because he's drunk. I don't give a fuck what you say about me, but these psychos are harassing my wife, my family, and my friends. They have no rules, and starting today, neither do I. I never wanted to do any of this. Period. No space. I beg these guys just to chill. Period. And only make fun of me, and they refuse. Period. No space. And so space. Period. Or space comma space. Now I have no choice. So kind of drunk as fuck as he writes these messages. I want to talk about the harassment. I don't believe him. I am one of the most hated people who's ever lived in the totality of all mankind, and I don't get fucking harassing messages. Like I might get like random people like saying that I deserve to be killed with a hammer and shit, like in DM, like sporadically. But it's like that is me as like the guy that runs Kiwi Farms. I don't believe that Jeremy Hambly is getting a bunch of harassing messages towards every member of his family just because PPP makes fun of him on kick.com. I don't believe him. I simply don't believe him. Unless, and this is usually the case with this kind of harassment, unless there was someone specifically motivated to harass her, to try and get things taken down from the internet, perhaps, who maybe perhaps also has a history of domestic violence and might even have protective orders against him for domestic situations already. Some sort of local guy who personally knows his wife, who would be upset about his privacy and cuckold lifestyle coming out, and who might actually be applying some threats of force or harassment against his wife to get that to stop. I believe, this is my take, that he is getting harassing messages, and he is getting his wife is getting harassing messages, and his wife is yelling at him about those harassing messages because PPP is making fun of Adam Sellner, and Adam Sellner is telling his wife, "You better fucking stop. You better get them to fucking stop, no matter what it takes." And the cuck's cage has been rattled by the wife, and she's telling him, "My bull's upset, and you got to fix this." And so he took some shots of liquid confidence and has gone onto the internet to show those bastards, PPP and Andy Worski, what for. That's what I believe. I believe that because no other force would be strong enough to like force him to freak out in public like this. Next one. So after threatening to take everything they have, the quartering messages stake Eddie, Evil Eddie himself, directly going up the chain of command to the very tippy top of kick.com and saying, "Hey, Evil Eddie, we pull about 10,000 daily live viewers and haven't missed a stream in 4 years. I would love to talk to you about some stuff. I'm not looking for a deal, just questions about the platform." So Evil Eddie, according to the quartering, actually added him after this, I guess so that he could talk about getting some kind of contract. But of course, he's going to do the same thing he always does. The same way he offers me money with this unspoken tension that he expects something in return. He's going to offer Kick to get this huge streamer from Rumble, but he's going to need something cleaned up beforehand. What's funny, by the way, is after this message came out, I was diagnosing some issues with Kick, and I was looking at the Kick front page to try and find some live streams to get live data from. And one of them was a Kick, I don't know what his role was. I think he was the lead developer of kick.com. And I popped in, and there were a couple people who recognized me. So if you saw me doing this, you can vouch for me in the chat. I actually popped in and I asked this guy, "Hey, what does Kick think about the drama channels like Kino Casino?" And at first he thought, he was confused at first. He's like, what's the drama with Kino Casino? They seem fine to me. And then I clarified, no. What do you think about like the genre of like stuff like Kino Casino? And he said, "Oh, they're great. I love them." So the very tippy top of Kick's management, the top developer, knows Kino Casino. And I think that their position on the site is just fine. By the way, I kind of briefly said this in my DMs to quartering, which I'll read in a second, but I firmly believe that Kino Casino is probably one of the top revenue earners for kick.com. Like for actual money exchange, I think that they're at the top. And I can say that because, as I said, I was looking for data. And every so often, because people send me gifted subs, and I still haven't fixed the fucking gifted subs. So I try to find data so that I can do programming stuff one with live data. Because the VODs don't store all the events that happen that I'm trying to capture. So I have spent a great deal of time opening random kick streams and collecting data to try and feed into my overlay to try and get kick working 100%. I have never seen anyone come close. I mean, not even fucking close to the kind of pull that PPP gets on Kino Casino in regards to gifted subs and subs. There's a streamer who I use very frequently because he streams a lot called Cory who's like Keemstar for Japan. And his chat is the fastest fucking chat I've ever seen. He gets 60,000 plus live viewers. His streams do not get anywhere close to the number of super chats and subscriptions that Kino Casino does. So when they're talking about like my 10,000 daily live viewers, PPP and Kino and Andy don't just get like 5,000, 6,000. They got 10,000 the last stream on Monday. But they don't just get that number. They get money following through. It's not just people watching like Cory-chan. It is people spending money to support them in the process. So the idea that he can shove his weight around against PPP on Kick is literally delusional. It is fucking insane. It's actually insane. I'm very certain that they on Kick directly probably make like as much as like Aiden Ross does from subscribers and super chats and shit, especially for how long they stream without streaming in real life and doing 24-hour streams and shit. So completely empty, very obvious, very transparent, very pathetic. Another tweet, Quartering says, first will be your YouTube. Should I read this like Patrick Tomlinson? First will be your YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion. Easy takedown. And next will be your Kick. I literally begged you two to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was to let you guys dunk on me. But now your channel's already over. Stalker PPP. Pull the trigger. Bang, bang. So that's his threats. And then more. I think that this is a response. Andy Worski replies to one of their prior messages saying, Quartering has admitted to flagging us. He is trying to get us unbanned on Kick for making fun of him. He claims I am ban evading on YouTube. I was unbanned earlier this year. The channel was ran by someone else. Also, you bring up your wife daily. Shut the fuck up. And then Quartering replies to this and says, I have shown unrefuted video evidence that I have in fact not flagged you. Now you have continued to lie about me, Andy. I'll go ahead and take everything you have. I have given you clowns plenty of runway. I think it means leeway. Runway, both publicly and privately. Enough is enough. Too bad. I liked you. And he repeats this like a million times. He likes Andy. According to Andy Worski, the last time before this, the two of them had direct contact. He said that he hoped he died and they'd find his body in a ditch somewhere. So that's just how Hambly shows his love, I guess. I want to say there's something missing here. Oh, this was from last stream, which is why I don't have it open. Hambly showed his report history. And I might have this in a tab somewhere, but someone else who had reported people or not reported people, as I mentioned, I don't believe his report history bullshit because he has 8 million channels and they all have different report history. Like if I flag somebody on my personal YouTube channel and then switch over to Mad at the Internet, I can show, look, no reports on Mad at the Internet, and it will have like a completely different account history because they are different accounts on YouTube. But what's really funny is that someone opened up their report history and noticed that in their table, they had no reports to show, and the table was actually captioned. It just had the header rows, no data, and then a caption on the table that said, there are no reports to show, meaning that it's an empty set. Don't worry, it didn't load or fail to load. You have no reports to show. Hambly's screenshot conspicuously lacked this message, indicating that if you were somebody just trying to, I don't know, take 30 seconds to edit the page to say nothing or remove elements in the DOM to manufacture an image, it wouldn't have this table caption saying that there are no reports because you wouldn't know to add that. So it looked like not only did he have a better opportunity to not flag shit under his main channel, he didn't even bother. He just edited the history potentially in Photoshop or in the DOM to hide it and forgot the message because he didn't know. So next, in reply to BP, a random user on Twitter, I will take it upon myself to mass report Kino casino clips on YouTube channel in oblivion with my 8 YouTube channels, which I think is just making fun of Quartering. Quartering says, I don't want this. I just want them to leave my family and friends alone. They can make 1 million Jeremy is a loser videos. I don't care. Just leave the normies out of it is all I ask. The response, by the way, from Kino Casino in regards to these specific complaints is that Jeremy Hambly has repeatedly, and even after this SPAC attack on his streams, repeatedly brings up his wife continuously. And everything they know about his wife and about Adam Seller comes from Andy Worski. God damn it! Now I got 3 people in my head, and I can't manage 3 people. The Quartering has personally said on his own streams, so they're not digging up information about them to attack them, and they wouldn't even know about Adam Seller if he didn't talk about him constantly. But it's just information they have from what he said on stream. Anyways, so that was the other reply I'd already read. I have reached out privately to both him and Pay. I have reached out via intermediary. Foreboding, foreshadowing. All I ask is that they leave my family alone. I begged them to be reasonable. I said making fun of me is fine. They refuse. They want to continue to harass my wife, family, and friends, he says for the millionth time. Pay responds to the prior tweet from taking their YouTube channel for ban evasion. Even Jarbo wasn't this shameless. I will now never ever stop felting you, Jeremy. You genuinely have no power anywhere. You are a cuckold and you won't be doing shit. You are ruining your career and reputation in real time. In a drunken spiral! ! Sober up and seek Christ, buddy. Which obviously was going to happen because I said that on Friday. Like, you're telegraphing to everybody like a fucking Elden Ring boss. Here's my weak spot. I'm powering up my attack. Please don't ever hit me in my weak spot while I power up my attack. That would leave me ever so vulnerable to follow-up attack. It's like, you're just giving guides on how to fuck with you. Why are you doing this? So, not an unexpected reply from PPP. And he was very indignant, by the way. He was very angry about this because it's like, nobody likes being threatened, and they especially don't like being threatened from a position of weakness. I also feel this anger when someone sends me a DM and they're like, you made this post that included an archive that showed that I eat shit and want to fuck kids. And if you don't take this down right now, you will be reported to the FBI for cyberbullying and doxing. And it's just like, you get an email like that and you're like, who the fuck do you think you are making demands from me when this is what you're doing in the fucking shadows? Like, honestly, how do you have the fucking audacity to think that that kind of bullying tactic is going to work? So during this time, by the way, this is when he starts messaging me on private message. And my responses to him are relatively slow because I'm trying to like watch a movie. So there's like, and he just goes like, there's long chains of replies to me. So I just let him talk. And then after I remember to look again, I check out what's going on and then I reply. The Quartering says, I have reached out both privately to him and PPP. I have reached out via, which is me. But I literally begged you, other fans justifying making my wife live in terror. I hope you all support them financially because it's your fault they are about to lose $100,000 a year. I would say that Andy Worski and PPP probably make closer to $500,000 a year, if I had to guess. Because they do make a lot of fucking money. Tristan replies, says, keep it legal, don't stoop to their tactics. And he says, that's easy. Tristan is a faggot, by the way. He also replied to one of my tweets and replied to him and said, like, it's just a total suck ass. Then, while having a conversation with I said to him this the offer, and he became so enraged by this offer that he immediately posted it to the public timeline. And they're kind of set in motion the shower text thing, which I don't feel bad about because number one, he's literally asking me to talk to PPP, and number two, he's saying throughout the entire thing that he expects them to be public. So there's not like an expectation of privacy. You're talking to somebody who doesn't really know you, and you're threatening to do criminal things, which I'll explain. So PPP says, just so people are aware, these are the Mafia Don extortion tactics that the quartering is now using in private DMs with Josh Moon. You were not King Hambly. You need to accept the fact that I can call you a cuck on the lowercase I internet. You have a bull in your house, pound sand. And then there is the DM change. So let's just show the actual offer, which I'll read the rest of the DMs later. Unofficial truce. They delete the videos attacking our marriage. I never mention him again. By the way, not even just the videos making fun of her, very specifically attacking the marriage, which would probably include anything involving seller. The more they do it, the more I want to flex my connections to bury them. This is a one-time offer. They can meme on anyone else they want. I don't care if they meme on my friend who apparently has a questionable past. But this is an exploding offer, which is also like a drunk euphemism, I guess. I think he's trying to refer to like a 007 James Bond like self-destructing message, but very awkward statement. If they want to go to war, I will win, which just invokes in my mind that meme of like the Redditor, like looking like Thanos and like closing his Thanos gauntlet. Like, you really think you got a lot of power, huh, buddy? You think you're a big boy, huh? I assume, and this is, again, it's like, why, you can't be mad at me for this. I assume all these messages will be public, but I, like Andy, just get rid of the videos claiming I let some faggot fuck my wife, and they continue to make 10K a month on YouTube, and I move on. But they continue to spread disgusting lies about my family, and I have no choice but to react. It's time for them to make a business decision. This is a win-win. I can burn it all down, LOL. I have 5 years guaranteed salary at Rumble. If they balk, that's not on you, and I still support Kiwi Farms. Broker the ceasefire, and everyone wins. So I'll just read the entire thing later, but that's the offer that I was instructed to send to PPP, which I did. And then PPP immediately posted this in public because it's obvious like extortion. There's several things in this, but the main one is his claim that he has 5 years guaranteed salary at Rumble. Last we heard, he's actually renewing his Rumble contract. And I think he was even saying that it's looking iffy because of his numbers or some shit. Like that was part of his Wings of Redemption Schrodinger's begging thing. It's like, oh, Lord, I'm going to have to really make up the money if I can't get this Rumble contract renewed. So, not sure what the deal with that is. And I don't know where the 5 years comes from. I think that this might tie into the Rumble. Remember a long time ago, he deliberately showed his dashboard to show off that he had $900,000 worth of unpaid debt from Rumble that was just sitting in like a wallet waiting to be paid out. And I explained at the time that I have a similar wallet on mine, and there were months where they would not pay out the full amount, and it would kind of stack, and then they paid out like a long overdue amount all at once. So they have liabilities to you, and they will pay out whatever they can when they can. I think the reason that his liabilities are $900,000 is because he probably has something like a 5-year contract for $1 million, and they might have a performance review every year. So he might only have gotten however much money from them, and now they're going to have to look at his performance and decide if they're going to keep him or not coming up soon. And if they decide not to, then all that money goes away, and he's only going to make the money he's actually getting from super chats and stuff. And based off the data he leaked, he doesn't make fuck all on locals or on super chats. So it goes from like $10,000, $20,000 a month, I think it was, to nothing immediately. So that could be why he's so freaked out about this. Maybe Rumble doesn't want to CUCK or something. They might include that in their performance review. So that was the first DM leak. And then the response from the quartering in regards to this was the Thanos snap. Scorched Earth tomorrow at 12 Central Time. I love having such an amazing topic to start the week out with. And many people were speculating, what is this going to be? Could this be a big flop, like when Sargon of Akkad decided to do the stream on Medicare, calling him a groomer, and he was muted for like 20 minutes straight because he wasn't reading his chat? Could that be it? People were wondering, would it be the starfish video? And the scorned A-logs of the casino were prepping their biggest, reddest text to remind everybody that Andy Worski streamed CP on whatever fucking date, 2019. They were hoping, was Jeremy Hambly going to go full A-log and use the Kiwi Farms and epically own Andy Worski in PPP? So I featured this thread. And I was I was fucking hyped for this. I had Rumble open. I was waiting for the live, and PvP's fat. That's true. That's true. And I was waiting for this to go live, and I even sent him a message in DMs like, "Hey, are you late? You know, are you going to go live?" I asked not Andy, PPP. I asked PPP, like, is it normal for him to be late? And he said it's super unnormal. He's super on time every stream. Like, he has a technical fuck up, but he's starting to stream on time every time. So he just didn't go. And then the time rolled on. His normal show for the day started. The chat was a war zone. People were getting banned everywhere. And he was just kind of smuckling to himself while half-heartedly reading the news about Iran. A country, by the way, he could not identify on a map. It took him 10 minutes to find the Strait of Hormuz. And apparently he thinks the Middle East is in Indonesia and South America. So he doesn't know anything about geography. He doesn't know anything about Middle Eastern conflicts. But he has to read the news like a fucking automaton, regardless, to make money. So that's the kind of content that people were getting, and he was you could like see him doing that scornful gaze at his screen as he banned people. And I was even in chat, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, are you doing the Scorched Earth thing now? What's the deal? Are you doing it with Hannah Claire?" And I got no reply, left on red. So I had to edit the feature message to let everybody know that Jeremy Hambly was going to let them down, and there'd be no Scorched stream. But he smuckled and said, I see that many people have showed up. New audience members have shown up to watch the stream, as if to be like, ha ha, hee hee, I trolled you all into watching my boring non-tent. So now I make the big bucks, and my Rumble contract is locked in for another $1 trillion, and you're all epically owned. Then, this is, I think, the clip.
Poor Mrs. the Quartering having to scavenger hunt stuff for herself. Where's her scavenger hunt, Jeremy?
I know what this is.
I think she enjoyed watching me struggle. There were like little riddles that probably were for kids. You know, like it wasn't like that difficult. Some of them were weird.
Intimidated. That's respectful of her.
She didn't want to humiliate me more than she normally does.
This is like a double entendre. This clip was clipped because he's talking about how his wife humiliates him more than she usually does. I suppose when she's having extramarital relations with Adam Sellner. However, the more humiliating thing about this is that he's saying that his wife did an Easter egg hunt for him. His wife went around the house hiding Easter eggs, I guess with like amiibos in it or some shit, or Funko Pops, and he ran around his house looking for Easter eggs that his wife had set up for them. Just like bizarre, really truly bizarre. But no, it's the weird clip at the end about being humiliated that's got people's attention. Let's see.
Prison. It's been really weird.
I had the craziest dream I maybe ever had in my life, but like I guess I'm not allowed to share stories because if I share a story, it gets turned around against me. Even though I willingly told the story, apparently I've been exposed. like I willingly tell the story and have retold the story many times about, not making it to the bathroom in Walmart. Yet it gets twisted into like, oh, he's exposed.
Look at that ick. Watch this. Watch Melanie Mac.
bathroom in Walmart, yet it gets twisted into like
That icky.
yet it gets twisted
Looks at the screen to see chat.
into like
Uncomfortably
he's
touches her hair. Like, ew.
It's like
Who exposed for pooping his pants?
yeah, it's like I told that story.
And, like who hasn't? Who hasn't had a
She can't say the words. Melanie Mac had to put brakes on her mental train, to avoid saying the words, who hasn't shit their pants? Because either she has shit her pants, and that's really embarrassing to tell people, or I don't know. I assume that she probably had a period story where she spotted or something, and she realized that's not really the appropriate comparison because this man is shitting his pants. So I can't wait to hear what she has to say.
poop pants incident as an adult.
Let them cast the first stone.
Exactly.
Well, you know what Jesus
Okay, Melanie Mac shits her pants.
says about pooping her pants. So I had this dream last night.
Let the record be shown to the Sims that Melanie Mac shits herself. Melanie Mac sharted, and she relates to the quartering because she too has shit herself. Very fascinating. Okay, this is out of order. 1 second. Any way I can do this? I wish I could just open up one chat instead of like every chat ever conceived. No, I can't just like look at my without showing like who else has messaged me and shit. That's very annoying. Okay, let me find the messages real quick so I don't have to do that. Sorry, I don't know how I guess I just assumed I could show my own messages. But that did not happen. Oh god, here we go. Okay. So I just dumped what my screenshots, which I had been taking because I didn't know if he would delete anything. But here we go. Okay, so this is the first message I received out of the blue on, I believe, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday night. He says, if they don't leave my family out of it, I am going to take everything they have. I'll never apologize for it either. I haven't done any flagging. Their channel is a walking TOS violation, and I know they are ban evading. It would have been way easier to have their channel removed. I haven't done that. I know you're big mad at me, but if they keep bringing my family into shit, I will act. It's important to understand how I, as a mentally deficient person, reads messages. I will respond to a message at the very first thing that I see that warrants a response, and I almost always ignore the rest of the message. I also tend to respond to later things first, which is why it's important to be very concise when talking to me, because otherwise I'll completely forget what the fuck you're talking about and respond to the first thing that pisses me off and forget the rest of it. That's what I do, okay? So he says, I know you're big mad at me, but if you keep bringing my family into shit, I will act. And my immediate response is to that message, because it's like, I barely fucking know you. I don't know why I would ever be angry at you. I have no association with you whatsoever. I barely fucking know you. Like, why would I be mad at you? So I say, I'm not mad at you, and I have no idea why you would choose to precede any statement with such an obviously false and just disingenuous pretense. Because it's like, how can I be mad at you? I don't fucking know you. But then I back up PPP because it's a ridiculous claim. If you think PPP is ordering people or even casually implying that people should contact anyone in your family, you're wrong, but I think you know that. Because my immediate suspicion at this point in time is that he is using this as a pretense to go out. I actually say this. I also think that as a 2-decade veteran of internet communications and someone around during Gamergate, you know by now that the one thing you should never do is give harassment attention. So I'm not sure why you're choosing to do that. Operative word being choosing. The one thing that stands out as a possibility, of course, is that like Brianna Wu, you're using alleged harassment as a pretense for a deplatforming campaign, which would be ridiculous and morally abhorrent, but you also know that. So I tried to call this out as roundly as I possibly could, as some fucking bullshit that he should know is some fucking bullshit. And let me find this real quick. I think it's skeptical. Oh, what is it? It's like pessimistic. What is? Oh, cynical. Cynical is the word. Whenever I think of like super cynical stuff, I think of this icon. Oh no, I can't find it anymore because it's from Crusader Kings 2. It's a personality trait, and it's just like this extremely cynical looking furrowed brow icon. And I have that trait in real life. I just have the most furrowed brow, cynical expression at all times. I read this, I'm like, I know what you're fucking doing. You have written up this facade of intent, and I know exactly what you're up to, and fuck you. That's my cynicism. So then the second, I didn't know this would be a long conversation, so I just recapped this. Number one, I want to capture that he responded to the one thing that stands out as a possibility, of course, is that, like Brianna Wu, you're using harassment as a pretense for a deplatforming campaign. He responds to this message with a flex emoji. And when I received this in real time, I was very confused to if this was him agreeing with me and him being like, yeah, I'm flexing my connections, or was he like drunk? And did he like accidentally fat thumb a reaction to this message? But then he replies, it sucks because I like Andy, I guess, which, as we've established, is bullshit. You're right. I should ignore her. Problem solved, right? Josh heroically, through the powers of cynicism, have called out this bullshit and set the course straight. And in particular, I just want to clarify, because I saw some comments saying that I was too nice to Hambly and I shouldn't try to help him. I want to clarify my position. First of all, my initial concern was actually to prevent PPP from having problems. I wanted to dissuade him from going down this route because I didn't want people to have to deal with this bullshit. It's 2026. We shouldn't have to be worrying about deplatforming. So that was my first concern. I was like, maybe I can just tell him to knock the fuck off and he'll take the high road, as he should probably do. And that would solve the issue. The second is, as I've said before, my idea of a lolcow is somebody who ignores good advice. And therefore, I have no issues giving good advice to basically anyone who asks me for advice. I'll try to give the best advice I can possibly give to basically anyone who asks me for it and solicits my input. Because number one, very few people ever do that. And number two, there's a payoff to this. If they choose to ignore it, and I actually tried to help them, I feel like that's funnier. I feel like it's really, really funny if somebody has a roadmap on how to deal with this problem and navigate it more efficiently, and they just choose not to. I actually think that's really comedic. So I don't hold back in trying to give actual advice, and it's not because of any connection to Hambly or that I'm trying to help him because he's helping me in some way. It's more that this is the setup to a joke, and the joke will be when he fucks up everything, and you can look back at my messages and see that I was right. That's my internal narrative structure, and it's not as a humanitarian as you might be led to believe if you're cynical about my intentions. So immediately after, and this was 11 minutes. So I finally looked at my phone and I saw he had responded to this 11 minutes ago, and I screen captured. I thought, that's it. Bring. I got another message. I have tried to reason with them. Now I have no choice but to take everything I have. I hate that because I like Andy. Let me actually make sure that this is in the right order, because I'm a little bit skeptical, because there's like no fucking way that's what he sent immediately after that message. It is. So immediately after him saying, you're right, I should ignore it, he then says, I tried to reason with them. Now I have no choice but to take everything they have. So that is exactly how the message went, and it was sent an hour and 20 minutes later, which is exactly where my fucking movie ended, where I stopped watching it. So, because I was reading this. So an hour and a half later, he responds at almost 9 p.m. Eastern time, saying, I tried to reason with them, and now I hate that because I like Andy. So let me go back to the messages and start from there. If I can find them again. Okay. So this is my response. I said, nobody can stop you from trying, but the road of lawfare and deplatforming is extremely high risk. Kino Casino is one of the biggest streams on Kick with probably the highest revenue on the platform. They also do paint by numbers pretty well and don't really do anything too offensive by today's standards. Their fans are also dedicated. So, point by point, they have a great standing on Kino Casino and on YouTube for that matter. They are pretty cautious. They watch what they say. They make offensive jokes, but they're kind of like safe edgy by today's standards. And then their fans are dedicated. So if they got banned off of Kick, obviously their fans would move. Not all of them, but enough of them where they wouldn't really have to worry about their income being affected too much. They have other options. They would go on Rumble, they said. And Rumble obviously works for my purposes. So then I clarify, because it sounds like he's threatening litigation too. I say, meanwhile, lawfare can take 5 years. The Russell Greer case, in case you're wondering, has been going on since 2020. And they can find sympathetic representation at a good rate. Well, you'll have to find full-priced attorneys. I bet you fucking money we could find an attorney that is licensed to practice probably in the Federal District of Wisconsin, which is much easier to get pro hoc vice into than finding somebody in the state bar in Wisconsin. But I guarantee you he could find somebody worthwhile for a good rate. And then he says, yeah, man, I get it. I don't blame you at all. Weird casing because he's drunk. Kick CEO already added me back, so we'll see. I never cared about them memeing on me at all. And I get people's, which I don't think he does. But, yeah, he's braggadocious. The Evil Eddie already added him on Twitter to hear that lucrative deal that might require some sacrifice. You gotta cut the, what is it? You have to sacrifice the chaff to save the wheat, buddy. You gotta make a little correction, a little circumcision of the Kino Casino, to get his love. And then he says, viewers. Oh wait, my response is, even going down that road opens you up to the scorn and ridicule of the entire uppercase I internet. So I'm not sure how it's advantageous. You're broadcasting to everyone. This is what I can't stand, and it really bothers me. Please don't do it. Jeremy Hambly replies to this and says, viewers will do whatever, but now my wife is literally terrified, so I have to act. And then he unfortunately committed suicide mid-sentence. And what is the funniest fucking typo ever conceived ever? So no, I think what he meant to write was to act. Or action, to do something. I have to do something. I have to act. To act. I have to act. But unfortunately, he just said to act. And he died. Okay, let me check to make sure that the flow is correct again. Okay, this is correct. So this is the same correct order. I've just confirmed. I hear that taking down channels is something I never wanted to do in 20 years, except Mr. Menaker. And then some other shit that they found later on YouTube. But I beg them to be reasonable. I honestly didn't know about my friend and his shit, lol, or LO, and then lol. That's also false. PPP found a clip where Jeremy Hambly years ago said that Adam Seller was his friend of 10 years. And that would actually be during the time that he got his DV stuff. So he should be very aware of who he is and what he's up to. I haven't talked to him since. This is also a backpedal. So now this is how you know it's the bull who's causing him problems. He messed with the bull. Now he's getting the horns. Because he never threw any fits like this about his wife getting bullied and mocked relentlessly for being eggless and miserable. But now that Adam is in the way, it's a serious issue. He said, haven't talked to him since. I had no idea he was such a degen, as if to try and throw people off the scent that, like, oh, I guess he didn't know. I guess that problem's solved now. He literally, just like last stream, said that he was going to go shoot darts with Adam again. So it's like he knew. He's always known. And he's not talking to him because the idea that he's not talking to him because he's now figured out he's such a degenerate is a joke. So, no, that bridge is just fine. I then follow this up and I say, let's put it this way. Let's say that you get them deplatformed and then they sue for something like tortuous interference. They can call your wife and seller in as witnesses and they get 6 hours to depose them under oath. They can also subpoena your tax records. It's not fun. And my point in mentioning that is the whole argument he's trying to avoid with PPP is about giving over his tax records because he considers that private information. Why should I have to do that? Well, it's like if you're going to bring up this stuff in defamation into a case, they can say, fine, let's prove it. Let's prove that we are defaming you. Get your tax records for the last 7 years, and then let's have a court-appointed CPA go over the numbers, and let's see if we're right or not, which would just be giving them what they've been asking for anyways, but much more expensively. And then the part about the depositions, like, do you really want to subject people to court depositions? Do you, like, you're supposed to be sad about your wife, right? But apparently not, if you're willing to put her in a hot office room in a county court to depose them by and get cross-examined by PPP's attorney, which I'm sure will not be a good time, but he doesn't seem to care. He says, I'm not worried about lawfare. My wife supports me absolutely, and their lies are literal fiction. She's the one that said to do it. So she got the horns, and she told the CUCK, rattled his cage, and said, you got to make this shit go away, whatever it takes. And then he's like drunk texting, like, yeah, bitch, I'll see you in fucking deposition, motherfucker. I'll bring my fucking tax records. We'll get to the bottom of this shit. Cool. Okay, and then the follow-up to this at the end of this message. She's the one that said to do it. I really wish they would have followed the rules, in quotes. Roast me all you want, like Coffee Brain Coffee, but my family is off limits. I don't need to sue to get their YouTube shut down. PPP is ban evading. I don't want to do that. I have not sent a single flag, and I know you will publish all this. So, first of all, I actually did, I think, dissuade him from talking lawfare, because after this, he course corrected him, like, okay, fine, I'll just take their channels then, bish. Because he realized, oh, wait, that's a really, really, really bad idea to bring in the law and go to a deposition. That seems like a terrible idea, actually. Well, fine, I'll just take their YouTube channel. And then he acknowledges again that I'm authorized to publish this because he's talking to me with no concept of privacy whatsoever. And then I say, yeah, but they can sue for that, potentially, and then you have discovery anyways. It's not a one-way street. So I'm trying to play defense here in a way by being reasonable and saying, look, you can do whatever you want, but you're not the only person who can sue. As we saw with the Liz Fong Jones stuff, if you threaten to sue somebody, you can actually force their hand. They can force your hand by getting a declaratory judgment, and that might proceed to discovery anyways. So it's a really bad idea. It's a bad idea to do any of this. Just fucking leave it alone. Next message. You're right, but I am not worried about discovery at all. That's what they want. But I have nothing to hide. But he won't give over his tax records. It's like, if you have nothing to hide and you want to talk to PPP and you're willing to give up your tax records and have your wife deposed under oath, why not just do the Caleb Hammer thing? Caleb Hammer is like a really big channel. You might actually get new viewers from that. That's why he fucking does. I actually had to unfollow him because there was a point where he was just interviewing whores, like one after the other. And it's like, I don't want to hear what a cock-sucking whore has to say about taquitos, bro. You fucking greasy gay boy. You're promoting pornography to me. They're on your show because they're getting money by advertising. And it's like, I don't fucking appreciate this fucking pornography stick. But, anyways. Hell, I offered to give a fat retard nobody financial deals, and then he backed out of it. I don't know why I'm even messaging you, because I know you'll sell me out anyways. It's just the old lowercase I internet in me. I guess he did specify which one. I used to love Andy and meme culture. But my wife is terrified. Weirdos are messaging her, and she's ignoring me. It was all good back in the day, when it was just him and his buddy Andy Worski reading Know Your Meme together, laughing at all the funny dog memes. But things have changed. Things are more serious these days. I then follow up and say, as far as I'm aware, by the way, all three of us got unbanned. This was while talking to PPP. And he's like, you know what? We're not even banned. I'm like, yeah, you're right. We're not banned. My channel on YouTube's not banned. My gaming channel is not banned. The Kino Casino clip channel is not banned. And Andy Worski got his channel back just now. So it's like, none of them are banned. None of us are banned. We're not ban evading. He says, I had no choice. I hope that's true, TB. I hope it's true that they're not ban evading so I can take it from them again. Like, what the? Why are you happy that they're not ban evading if it undermines your entire point that you can easily take their channel down? But he course corrects and says, but their channel is basically a full-on TOS violation. So I ask, how? How is it a TOS violation? Lay it down for me. Break out the fucking terms. Let's see. Go line by line. Let me know. He says, I think most of it is probably within the lines. TBH, I have no idea why that video got flagged, then reinstated because you reported it, or Adam Seller reported it, and then they had a human review it. And the human review concluded there was no PII leaked. Then reinstated, but it was my buddy, but it was public record, so that was odd. I have never... He actually admits, and he's backtracked this, maybe it was my buddy, but it was public record. So he knows that he knows the bull is pissed off. This is why he's saying this. He knows the bull is pissed off. He knows the bull is giving his wife the horns, and his cuck cage is getting rattled. And he's thinking, well, I guess he could be out there flagging. I really don't know. And then he admits it was public record. So I guess that's probably why it got reinstated. He must have submitted a privacy complaint. And then they looked at it and said, oh, these are just court documents. You're allowed to review court documents on YouTube. There's entire channels with multiple million viewers who do it every day. So he says that was odd. And it's odd because it got reinstated. I have never seen a video get taken down so fast, so I have no idea what was even in it. That was a privacy complaint. That's what the message said. That wasn't me, but Eddie. But Evil Eddie over at Kick already added me. Let's not trifle with this middling clip channel. Let's go for the crown jewels. Let's go for the big pot on Evil Eddie's Stake.us poker table, aired on Kick.com. And it says, and if I want to, I could take their channel. I really don't want to, but I have begged them to be reasonable. I have zero interest in dealing with this shit. But then he lets us know that it's not even his choice. He is a victim here to his wife. But if my wife gets one more call or text message, I'll burn it all down, and my viewers will support me. I don't know if you're married or with anyone. I still think your coffee review was one of the best. This is so weird. I don't know, like, yeah, I'm going to do evil stuff, but, like, you're nice? I don't know if you're married or with anyone. I still think your coffee review is one of the best. But when you're with someone, if not now, you'll know this. This is no option. So he's basically saying he has no authority whatsoever to usurp the wishes of his wife, even if he absolutely positively knows and admits that his shit will get fucking wrecked if he does what she's asking. That's what he's saying. And it's like, buddy, I don't know what kind of relationships you get into, but you are the only master of your own actions. And even if you're with somebody who has a bad idea, you can just not do that if you really, really think it's not a bad idea. Unless, of course, you're in a cuck cage and your wife's getting the horns from the bull, and then you're not really a master of your own destiny. You're not really in control of your own life anymore, and just kind of whipped. Then you might make serious mistakes that you know are mistakes as you do them because you're trying to placate somebody. That might be the issue. And then he says, I'm not mundane Matt. My viewers will 100% support this, which I can prove is not the case. And then he says, I stand by supporting your site's legal battle. Either way, Josh. So this is like the fourth time that he's indicated to me that he intends to support the forum in some way. If you've ever given me a fucking hell yeah, I think it's hell yeah, that's like 1 penny. If you've given me a single kick for 1 hell yeah on Kick, you have supported me more financially than Hambly ever has and probably ever will. So there it is. Thraxican for 1 penny sends a hell yeah. Sneedberg for 1 penny. Swamp Hermit and Punish Surf and other. Oh my God, the pennies are just flowing in, chat. All of these people have financially supported my legal battles more than Jeremy Hambly. Thank you, everybody, for your hell yes. See, on PPP's channel, they get to shout out the $5 subs. I shout out the 1 penny hell yes. That's how this works. That's why I'm in financial straits. Help! My finances are under attack from the radical IRS. Anyways. Okay, so my reply to this, trying again to bring people down to reality, I say, okay, so like, there are people out there who don't like PPP. Believe it or not, I've met them. They really fucking hate them. And if you say stuff like, my wife is getting angry messages, so I'm going to attack PPP, you're basically telegraphing to these people that they should fuck with your wife because it might cause problems for two people they don't like at the same time. So if you're one of these guys who doesn't give a shit about Jeremy Hambly, but spams the fuck out of the Kino Casino thread with the same bullshit over and over again in full caps, red lettering, size 7, you might think it's like, hey, maybe I should message the bull on a burner number and call him a cockhold. Maybe that will piss him off, and maybe that'll cause problems for Jeremy Hambly and PPP. Fuck yeah. Like and there are people, like, I don't know, should I even say this? When Kino Casino was young, it was not just Andy Worski and PPP. And my understanding, based off what I've seen, is that some of those people left behind are very angry at PPP to this day. So those people are what I'm referring to with this. Like, yeah, he's got dedicated A-logs. Everybody on the internet fucking does. And you're basically giving them an instruction book on how to fuck with you at your own disadvantage to fuck with PPP. And it's like, you're a retard. You're a fucking retard, is what I'm trying to say in so many words. So Hambly responds and says, "You're right, but I'm not worried about discovery." Oh, wait, no. This is another one at the bottom. Oh, I have one more message. "That's why it's generally recommended you don't say stuff like that on the internet in public. Because, again, you're giving instruction manuals to people who don't like you and how to fuck with you." Josh, and this is the weirdest, honestly, this right here is the weirdest message of the entire conversation and the one that really gives me the Nick Rekieta vibes. Because look what he's asking me here. He says, "Josh, can we agree?" Now, I think that I'll give both the interpretations when I read it. "Josh, can we agree? I can take their Kick and YouTube right. If I actually wanted to, they would be deplatformed outside of DLive in a week. I don't want that. I just want them to leave my family alone. I don't care how many Jeremy is a cuck videos they put out." So there are two interpretations of this. One I think is more credible than the other. The first is that he's asking me for direct permission to take Kick in YouTube, which I don't think he is, unless it's actually roundabout to the other interpretation. He's asking, do I acknowledge his power? That was my interpretation, and that is honestly one of the weirdest things I've ever been asked. Like, I've seen a lot of weird shit, but someone directly asking me if I acknowledge their power to deplatform Kick and YouTube channels is honestly one of the weirdest fucking things anybody's ever asked me. Because it's like, are you asking me to validate your ego, your sense of power and authority? Do you want me to acknowledge that you're a king? Like, what are you asking me here? And then the other interpretation that he's asking for permission could be roundabout. Like, he's asking me to acknowledge his power, and in doing so, I'm granting like royal assent for him to go out and prove it or something. Like, or maybe that's it. Maybe he's daring me to ask him, "I don't believe that shit for brains. You go out there and prove it right now. I want to see both those channels flagged down post haste." Like, is that what he's expecting me to do in response? I honestly don't. Honestly speaking, had not a fucking clue what the intent of this message is or how he expected I would react and for what purpose he sent it. I have no clue. So he sends me this message, and then he follows this up. And this is one of the things that I left on red for about 10 minutes while I was watching my show. He says, like, there's a delay there. Let me go check the time between. He sends me this message. I left him on unread, and then he follows up the other messages. You can tell because there's a gap there. Let me check how long I made him wait before he got nervous and had to, like, follow that up with a thing. He waits about 3 minutes. He waits about 3 minutes before getting nervous that I haven't responded, and then follows it up with the following messages. He says, like, "I have a non-Pajit YouTube rep. You know that, right?" PPP also does through Kino Casino clips. "On one phone call, gone." Again, the Reddit Janny meme with the Thanos snap thing going on. Like, that's just the mental image I get reading this. I have to find this. I think it will augment the reading experiment here if it's on the screen. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to find it. Reddit me soy jack hand clutch meme. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, This is the good shit. Yeah. Okay. Let's put the other thing back on and read it. I think this will augment the viewing experience here. Okay. I actually think they have incredible ceiling. They are hilarious. They just have to stay within the TOS. They don't have many attempts left. They are amazing at this. The show is hilarious. I would literally be promoting it even if they made fun of me. But they don't understand the line. This isn't 2001. At least I will forever know my coffee is better than Peppa. All right, let's break this down like a cardboard box, chat. As I said, first one, Kino Casino Clips has its rep. Everybody with over 100,000 subscribers has a rep. This 1, 2, 3, 4 next messages about the how great they are. It is weird, and it's very Ricada-esque how he mixes malicious intent with flattery. And it's a very weird thing. I don't have a name for it. I think actually there's this meme of like the narcissist prayer. It's like a Facebook woman meme, because whenever there's like a bad relationship, women talk about how they had narcissism, and there's like the narcissist prayer where it's like, even if I did do it, then you deserved it. It goes on like that, right? And it just goes. It's just about manipulation, and this feels like manipulation, where it's like he has to establish that he likes them and he wants them to succeed, and therefore the bad thing he's doing is obviously justified because he likes them so much that he would never ever ever do the bad thing that he knows is bad unless he absolutely had to. And it's like a very weird, covert, narcissistic thing that attempts to walk two paths at the same time. The path of right shit above it allism, and the path of being a complete and total fucking dickhead constantly. And that's very reminiscent of Nick Ricada, and it's hard to directly compare these things because they're this sort of ephemeral, cerebral experience. The experience of being on the receiving end of this and having to have my brain multi-track what's going on, both what I'm literally reading and what is subliminally being broadcasted to me to attempt to persuade me. And when I get my suspicion is aroused and my cynical perk activates, that's where my mind goes. I'm reading this and I'm thinking, what are you trying to do? Because it's not what you're trying to say, it's what you're trying to do. And then this message is a banger. I will forever know my coffee is better than Peppa's. His coffee was good. And this actually, I spoke to a coffee expert who watched my review and said that I did a really good job reviewing coffee as a person who doesn't know anything about coffee. And he also said that the flavor profile I described was a really high quality profile that probably took somebody who really knows coffee to make it. And it was for his professional judgment that there was no fucking way Jeremy Hambly actually made this coffee because it's too good. And he immediately suspected it was a white label. And we had a brief discussion about how it's probably about how he was surprised. I told him that he didn't advertise it as a white label. He said he owned the equipment. He did the burning or the the roasting, not the burning. You don't want to burn the coffee beans. You want to roast them. He did the roasting like in-house in this warehouse, which nobody has ever seen any evidence of exists. Like, there's no pictures of him walking around like, hey guys, it's me, Jeremy Hambly. I'm here in the fucking coffee brand coffee roasting. Here's my lead roaster, Miguel. Miguel is from Latin America. He grew up on a coffee bean farm. He's an expert at coffee. He develops our flavor profiles. Like, if you were trying to promote your coffee and the fact that you do the in-house roasting, that's what you would do, right? You would show off like your cool building and all your expensive equipment and your fancy packaging system and your K-Cups. Like, this is straight off the K-Cup line. This was an expensive system, it's proprietary, but I know a lot of people like K-Cups. And then you have Miguel's like, see, the coffee, when you roast it, you have to roast it at this temperature for the smoky aromas. And it's like, but he never did that, ever. And he can't do that, because I think that he white labels it at this point in time. Anyways, in my review, by the way, I compared it to Peppa Peppa Pig skin. What the fuck's Pippa? He spelled it wrong, and now it's like a black hole. Not PPP. Peppa Pipkins, and her quote unquote her coffee from Phase Connect, which was shit. It tasted like it tasted like how a barn smells. I remember it was a very vivid experience and it was terrible. And it smelled, when you smell the beans, like strawberries. So they like coated it in like a strawberry aroma, and then it tasted like a horse's ass, basically. Not even an exaggeration. So the comparison was quite abroad, and he remembered that for some reason. That Peppa Pigskin her coffee was lackluster. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know. This is me replying to this bizarre rant that he posted at me. Sometimes you think something is really easy to deplatform, and it ends up being impossible. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. It's kind of hard to say a fat guy dressed like Peter Cottontail is posing an imminent threat. The last stream that PPP had done was on Saturday before Sunday Easter. And he was dressed as Peter Cottontail. He was the Easter Bunny in a full Easter Bunny body suit. It wasn't a bodysuit. It was like a costume with like body paint, and it was really good. It was really fucking good. He had the perfect rabbit nose, like aesthetic, like prosthetic put on to give him like a rabbit face. It was very a lot of effort went into it, and I'm just imagining like a YouTube like moderator watching a video about a guy being cucked by a criminal. And it's just Peter fucking Cottontail, 300 plus pounds, bouncing up and down, going, whoa, buddy. It's like, how is anyone going to take that seriously and be like, this is an imminent threat to human life. I'm taking this video down right now. Like, you're never going to survive scrutiny on that shit. Yeah, the worst carrot ever. Andy Worski couldn't keep his fucking hat on for 5 minutes. The motherfucker. Ruining PPP, especially in comparison. PPP, full body paint, full costume. Peter Cottontail mogged the Andy Carrot, who couldn't even keep the hat on. So, and then he says, lol, yeah, that's true. Even acknowledging that it's going to be an uphill battle, and you probably won't even get the results that he wants, because PPP is Peter Cottontail Max. Next. This is another addendum at the end. So after a couple minutes, again, I left him on red. It's like, I see the message, like, okay, he acknowledges it. We're done, right? That's the end of the conversation. You acknowledge my points. You understand the wisdom of my message. I have nothing more to say. This concludes our business. I want to see what happens to this guy who works at the wood processing plant and recycling paper. He says, but like, I don't want to deplatform them. I want to promote them. I want to put you in the middle, so I'll leave this here. I still support Kiwi Farms existing, and I will help in any way I can with the legal battle. I appreciate you being open to chatting about it. I never flagged them. It's not true. I assume it was the normies they were outing. I assume it was my bull who flagged down your video, Sar. I've been around long enough to know flagging shit is a death sentence. Yeah. Rightfully so. And then I back this up. He's going in the direction that I prefer. He's acknowledging these points, and he's potentially avoiding a problematic situation that I don't wish for. So I try to agree with him. Like, good point. I say, yeah, I know. Nobody likes a Randall. Though I still don't think they cross any red line in modern era Kick or even YouTube. So just cementing. Let's nail this fucking coffin shut, right? It's dead. Let's nail it shut. Make sure it doesn't rise from the grave. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't. So don't even try. I'm just curious, why this now? Now, at this point, I'm asking him a follow-up question. I'm asking him a follow-up question because at this point in time, I am angry. I'm angry that I've been put in the middle of this, and I'm angry that this guy is considering legal avenues to fuck with people on the internet for no reason, because nobody deserves that. It's such bullshit. It lasts forever. It's just a huge pain in the ass. And it's very mentally taxing, even if you're on top of shit. So I'm asking him a question because I'm going to screen cap it, as I've been screen capping the conversation. And I'm hoping that he'll say something that if he were to sue PPP, he would actually undermine his credibility in a case. So at this point, I'm thinking I have to find some way to undercut this guy just in case. Because he's the antithesis of everything that I vouch for on the internet. So I say, I'm just curious. Why this now? Because they've been saying a lot about your relationship and behavior with Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire for months. What happened in the last week to cause a crisis? Which not only serves that purpose I mentioned of trying to find evidence, but also it is curious. Like, they've been making fun of Hannah Claire and Melanie Mack, Melanless Mack, and hashtag free Hannah Claire for months. And you're okay with that. Why is that okay? They've been making fun of your wife for months. Why is that okay? Why just now? And very specifically, what happened in the last week? And I want to hear him say the bull. He says, yeah, it's never been an issue until people started spamming my wife. People, and some nebulous people who never ever, until at any point in the last year or more that they've been talking about the quartering, never did anybody spam the quartering's wife until the bull got involved. And it's like, I wonder who's spamming the wife. He says, I literally don't care that they make fun of me. Like, her family has seen this shit. So I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe someone has sent the bull over to her family. Or maybe they did send it over to the family. And now her family's like, Heather, I've heard that your husband's making you fuck other men, Heather. Is that true? I'm worried about you. And now she's like, fuck, my mom knows that I'm a hot wife. That's very embarrassing. That might have actually happened. I don't know. It could have. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not saying that her parents weren't involved, but it may not be in the way that he's describing it, where he's saying that they're just being harassed and now they have to cope with that somehow. And then this is the original offer, which I'll reread. Unofficial truce. They delete the videos attacking our marriage. I never mention them again. The more they do it, the more I want to flex my connections to bury them. This is a one-time offer. They can meme on anyone else they want. I don't care if they meme on my friend who apparently has a questionable past, but this is an exploding offer. If they want to go to war, I will win. I assume all these messages will be public, but like Andy, I just get rid of the videos claiming I let some faggot fuck my wife, and they continue to make $10K a month on YouTube, and I move on. But they continue to spread disgusting lies about my family, and I have no choice but to react. It's time for them to make a business decision. This is win-win. I can burn it all down, LOL. I have 5 years guaranteed, spelled wrong, salary at Rumble. But if they balk, that's not on you, and I still support Kiwi Farms. Broker the ceasefire, and everyone wins, LOL. Now, I read that before, but the funniest thing that happens in this conversation is actually what happens immediately after. Broker, this is, by the way, he waited like another 4 minutes after this one to add this information to make himself look better. And then he waited another 6 minutes before sending this. Broker the ceasefire, and everyone wins. I then respond and say, I don't know why they would accept that, though. If someone made the same offer to you, would you take it? Because obviously, I would never take such a fucking offer. And I don't think any self-respecting person on the internet would. What critical commentator online would accept an offer like this when the story that's really interesting is the offer? The idea itself is more entertaining than whatever cuck drama is going on. The fact that he tried to cover this up. So I just asked, like, would you accept a similar offer? Because I feel like that's incriminating too. Would you accept an offer to silence, to stay quiet in exchange for not being fucked with? Because if you do, by the way, that would ruin you. If you're allowed to take one idea bubble or one idea ball from the net, then the porpoises can't make any more episodes. Okay? If I'm not allowed to talk about one thing, I'm basically setting up a system where I can't talk about anything. So nobody would take that the manatees, sorry, not the porpoises. Nobody would take that offer. And then he says, "Yay, hey, that's cool. It's not your job to broker it. And that's the funniest thing. Broker the ceasefire, and then it's not your job to broker it." Well, is it my job or not? Am I deputized to do this or not? It's like he forgot what he said just 7 minutes ago. Hey, that's cool. It's not your job to broker it. Any retard who has been as banned as much as both of them had would, if they're smart. But none of this reflects on you. It's all good. I wish you the best. Again, doing the multi-track drifting where it's like, yeah, I'm simultaneously the nicest guy you'll ever meet and the twisted fucking psychopath. I then follow this up because I think the conversation's rounding down now. So I sent a full screenshot. I'm like, I'm just saying, I've received offers like this, and my answer has always been no. I don't like it when people try to dictate what I or my forum can and cannot say. I will let him know, though. And then he follows this up by saying, yeah, I get it. I know we have our differences, and this is all outside of that. I wish you the best and support Kiwi Farms either way. Tomorrow at noon, I am going public on everything. But not this conversation, even though he said it was going to be public for some reason. And then he sent another follow-up message. So this is, let me find the timestamps again. Hold up. Okay, so I didn't respond to that. 20 minutes later, he says, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm going to handle it tomorrow. Cope, smiley. So he waited 20 minutes for that before PPP, I think, tweeted out the DM of the offer. And then he was like, fuck you. I'm going scorched earth. He says, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm going to handle it tomorrow. And I said, I did send the offer to him, but he feels it's an extortion effort, which I also did. I'll be watching the stream on Monday. And now this is me trying to, again, feng shui things into my pleasing. I want him to go scorched earth. I want to see the Jeremy Hambly PPP takedown video. I can't fucking wait. So I'm letting him know I will be watching this. I have featured the thread. I want the fucking content, okay? Oh, I see there's a spammer. Okay, 1 second. Oh, it's been going on for a while. I'm sorry. Okay. And then I say, okay, this is the next day. Today he says at 4 a.m. So he's up at 4:40 in the morning saying, it's all good. Probably does come across that way to him. Wish you well. So then the next day, after these random 4 a.m. messages, which at his time would be like 2 a.m., I say, should I unfeature the stream on Kiwi Farms? I thought you were doing a pre-stream thing today. I didn't see a tweet about canceling. And then 20 minutes later said, you know, mate, it's really disrespectful to lie to my face. And he says, wait, what? Oh, the public stuff? I should have told you. Fuck, sorry about that. It became clear last night that they are not interested in being human, so I'll just be on my way. Oh no, I lied to everybody and tried to cover up the fact that I had a fucking meltdown after I sobered up the next day. Then he got mad that PPP had put out his offer that Hambly asked me to send him. And apparently he got upset about that. He said, I saw PPP decided to just put the DMs, which is fine. I expected it. But if they're not interested in being civil, there really isn't any reason in giving the time of day. If I had known you were going to feature it, I would have and should have told you. My bad. And then this is my response. This is my last message to him, I think. I said, I sent him a portion of the DM that contained your offer, like you asked, but I did send him the full conversation because I feel like you're outlining an extortion scheme. I was asking about your plans in the chat and ignored that, and you ignored that, plus my DM on Twitter. I saw on your stream you had no unread messages, so I know you saw it. You just thought you'd let me advertise your stream for you to talk about Iran half-heartedly. I don't appreciate that. And I say, you're on a bridge burning and mistake-making spree that reminds me of Ricada by the numbers. I don't feel like anything I say will help at this point, and since you're threatening litigation, it's probably not a good idea to say much more. He did actually message me after this. He rated this heart emoji. And then he said, I don't look at my DMs while streaming. And for the obvious reasons, I was ignoring chat. LOL. No disrespect meant. And he said, I didn't have any idea you were going to promote the stream. Promote spelled wrong. He sent this at 11 a.m. and said, Pruta the stream. I don't even know how Kiwi Farms works, so again, apologies. I'm not talking about legal action against Kiwi Farms at all, by the way, which is not what I said. I said legal action, period, which would make him litigious. I will continue to read through this forever. Let me get some water. I'm having fun. This has lifted my spirits up for some reason, chat. Okay. So, as mentioned, our boy Hambly got a lot of shit. PPP says that they received dozens of messages from concerned content creators, people who know Hambly, who took their side over his, And it was looking really good for them and really bad for the quartering. So on April 9th, which was yesterday, so on Thursday, after a second consecutive stream making fun of Hambly, he posted this apology. And I will read the apology now. He says, "The final time I will address this controversy," in quotes. There have been some by the way, just right off the bat, let me tell you this. If you are an internet person, do not ever enter into the record that anything is going to be the final anything. Because when you say it's going to be the final anything and you ever address it again, you have lost. You have like absolutely owned yourself because you've stated your intentions to never talk about something again. And when you inevitably do, you're going to look like a fucking retard immediately. So don't say that ever. Okay. Just as a point. So, he says, there have been some folks having a lot of fun at my expense. It's been going on for like a year, and I've never said anything about it until recently when they started inventing vile lies about my wife, my family, and me as well, of course. Which raises the question, who is his family? Like, is he referring to his mother or his father? Because he's never said that. And he owns 6 German Shepherds, I'm pretty sure. So I guess there's vile lies about the German Shepherds that constitute his family. He continues. Paragraph 3. Thing I forget is, this is the internet. Which one? Can't spend all day responding to every new insane claim. That's what they want. I've been doing this long enough to know better. I should never have even implied anything about taking their channel down. That's not okay. It's cringe. It's bad. It was me getting emotional. I guess it's harder to brush things off now that I'm in my mid-40s. That's actually the exact opposite of what it should be. You should be much more capable of handling situations adult-like as an adult. It's more reasonable when a fresh-faced young content creator who has like their Minecraft YouTube channel get 1 million subscribers and then they step in the shit because they're young and stupid, right? At 40, having done this for half your life now, it should be obvious to you what the correct and incorrect courses of actions are with stuff like this. Oh yeah, and implied anything. Yeah, he's implying that he was going to take their channel down. Not that he was... I'll get into it. I wrote a response to this. Plain and simple, I got triggered when they moved onto insulting my wife, my marriage, and my family. They state as fact some of the most vile and untrue shit imaginable, all in an attempt to get my attention, and I made the internet, which one's cardinal sin of getting emotional. It's a no-win situation. They make up insane shit like my friend of 10 years is having sex with my wife. So friend of 10 years on the record, which would encapsulate the time that he got criminal charges, I'm pretty sure. Or come very close to it. And I just have to sit there and let it become more. He just has to sit there and take it. Let it fill up my comment section in live stream chat, because if I address it, they'll just make something else more insane up. Which is not true, theoretically. I guess if you had the evidence to dispel certain things, you could do that, but he's never bothered. I have been way too open on the lowercase I internet, which one, most everything they are memeing on is shit I've openly shared, like shitting my pants at Walmart, etc., LOL, and that's all fine. It's just the insane lies that I thought might end at some point. Sadly, they just keep ratcheting them up, and now I have to respond poorly. That I have responded poorly. More folks are getting involved and cementing this garbage as fact. I have done some cringe stuff worth making fun of, and I hope they make a lot of money doing it. Bro, it's like he's channeling. It's like it's like Ricada ghostwrit this. Like, don't worry, bro. I'm an expert. I'm a lawyer. Let me put my legal mindset to your apology here and write this for you. $1 million, in fact. That's right. But at the end of the day, there is room on the lowercase I internet for all of us. This is the shitty part of it sometimes. Almost nothing said about me is being presented in good faith, but I just got to let it ride out and not spurg out, so I apologize. Comment sections have been wild, and I made it worse. Please don't bother engaging with this stuff. Everything is going to be fine, lol. I apologize for my part in making it worse for people that just want to watch the show, lol. They will see this post as yet another epic win in their twisted fantasies. But this post is for people who actually watch the show, not for them. Cope Smiley. I am a human. Ricada also does the Cope Smiley, but I already said that in my message. I am human, and sorry to say, a pretty boring one. Well, come on now. Nobody's debating that. Despite what you see or hear on the lowercase I internet, which one? Cope Smiley. He then says, sorry to report, I do not in fact have a Jewish bull. My female coworkers love working together and we are all friends. I do not have any prior or current employees under NDA. Just about everything you see or hear just isn't true or it's purposely warped, lol. Now, Shoeonhead is one of the many people who took the side against Hambly in the CUCK wars with PPP and the quartering. And she says this. Threatening to deplatform a channel is like threatening to use a nuke in the world of the lowercase I internet, which one? But I guess she didn't capitalize anything in this, so it gets a pass. Capitalizing the bro code. Every public figure is mocked and their personal lives gossiped about. I learn new lore about myself every day, but never threaten to destroy those people's lives. You need to apologize to the casino boys directly and continue making content your fans want to see. Very reasonable and concise message from Shoeonhead, who, for the most part, has avoided complicating any of the drama in her life as well. And she also highlights my number one criticism of this message. He's apologizing, and he literally says the word... I can't... Oh, fuck me. I tried to search for something, and it fucked me over. I can't control F on this... God damn it, Elon. I try to control F find something, but I can't do it. He uses the word apologize several times, but he actually doesn't apologize to anybody. Who are you apologizing to? It would be to Kino, Casino, and Andy Worski, right? Or PPP and Andy Worski. But he says, oh, shoo. On that second part, I will never apologize to those fucking losers who circulate photoshopped, disgusting pictures of my wife. We are not 18 years old anymore. Pretty sure you wouldn't have apologized to those people spreading fake nudes of you, would you? This is the most insensitive message ever. Because she's being nice to him. And she's like, what's the point of an apology if you're not actually apologizing or learning or promising to do anything differently? And then you have to remember that Shoeonhead has a massive audience. She has a massive audience of like however many million of people, like 600,000 just on Twitter. And then she has millions of followers on YouTube. The overwhelming majority of people who know of Shoeonhead and casually consume her content on the internet are not people who know that she's had a leak. And Hambly blasting on her timeline, because this is going to show up in her fans' timelines, that she's had nude spread of her, is advertising to them that they can go look it up. There is no fucking world in which Shoeonhead would appreciate this reply, and I guarantee you that the quartering knew that, and he's being a passive-aggressive dickhead, just like some other narcissistic passive-aggressive dickhead that we all know about. So really just an incredible fucking reply altogether. Fuck, I did the thing. This is the one thing we did not want to happen. Okay, so my reply to the quartering was this. And I went line by line, paragraph by paragraph, and I tore this apart. Because again, I think of these things as a setup to a punchline, okay? This is my response. It's like you're taking all lessons learned watching internet personalities implode and then reenacting them. You've crafted this message to own up without actually having to tell your audience what you did and to who. For educational purposes, let's go point by point. 1. Who is this for? Who are some folks? It should be for Power of the Truth, PPP, and Andy Worski, but you don't mention them once. The first requirement of an apology is addressing the people who you have wronged. People are taught this as toddlers. I remember when I was a kid, I stole bubble gum. My mom made me walk back into the convenience store and place the bubble gum on the counter in front of the teller. That is an important part of internalizing wrongdoing, is to acknowledge who was stolen from and to right the wrong, right? That's how you do it. 2, the second component of an apology is identifying what you are apologizing for. You did not say that you take their channel down, which someone in chat corrected me. He doesn't actually say that he said he take their channel down. He said that he implied he would take their channel down. So he didn't threaten. He didn't say that he would. He implied that he would. But the reality is 1,000 times worse, because he didn't just say that. He didn't just imply that. He directly threatened in multiple places, both in public and in private, that he was going to go scorched earth and take everything they have. Never mind their YouTube channel. He said, he threatened, if certain conditions were not met, that he was going to take everything that they have. 3, the third component is actually taking responsibility for it unconditionally. The first 9 paragraphs preceding the apology, before the words "I apologize" show up, there are 9 paragraphs of context that he puts in front of his actual apology, which is the number one sign of a deceitful, half-assed apology. If you have to contextualize your apology, then you're not apologizing for it. He says, or I say, if you feel so justified in going scorched earth and taking everything they have, do not bother apologizing. I apologized to Turkey Tom recently, and the very first thing that I said is, I am sorry, and I did something wrong. There was no context after that. I did explain some of my rationale after the fact, but you have to put that up front. If it's not up front, it's not a real apology. Take notes if you're a fucking internet celebrity. The apology has to actually go in front. And 4, if you're doing this on Twitter, your tweets only get as many views as mine, and all I do is dump half-baked racism a couple times a week. Supposedly, you get as many as 60,000 live viewers, so that would be the appropriate place to apologize for threatening to engage in lawfare and deplatforming for online banter. Self-explanatory. 5, the true purpose of this message is to try and appease PPP and the Kino Casino audience without actually having to expose your audience to anything that's been going on or what any of the vile, untrue shit is. In the same way you thought threatening to take everything they had might make them shut up, you're hoping that an ambiguous apology might take the wind out of their sails without having to eat crow for anything. And that's the big one. It's like this message is meant to explain like why there's so many hateful comments in his live stream and comments for his own audience, but he's trying to make sure that they disregard it and they know that it's all handled. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here, boys. It's just some haters on the internet. And then I wrap it up. I say, finally, and most importantly, this message ignores reality. You're not learning anything. You've not accepted any of the points raised that have triggered you. Your friend, who you invite over to your house, is a known swinger with a criminal history involving domestic violence. There is very good circumstantial evidence that you were aware of this. There are way too many, and I mean that, way too fucking many clips of him making wildly inappropriate statements to your female co-host. And really, I should have said to women, period, because there are. Like, this guy has not found a woman on the internet he will not fuck. Anytime he has any kind of interaction with a woman, he is trying to set up some kind of haha, just as a joke, what if we fucked type thing immediately. Nobody can take public statements that they're fine with it at face value. They are your employees. And one of them is feeding a baby, soon too. Hannah Claire is pregnant. Congratulations, Hannah Claire, by the way. She can't afford to leave at any time if she wanted to. They are trapped with her. Now, Melanie Mack, I think, might be a dumb bimbo, because she is. But Hannah Claire, she is like, as I said, a pregnant mother of one, expecting a second. And she has to save. And if she's going to try to, like, she's set up her own YouTube channel. If she wants to segue into doing her own thing independently, she can't just drop everything and move over to that and have it work out and provide the same level of income security. You have to build up to that. So, it's a scary place to be when you have a guy who's trying to like fucking molest you and sexually harass you on streams and make inappropriate comments to you, even though he's married, even though you're married, even though you've got a kid, even though you're pregnant. And that doesn't stop him because there's another video of him being weird towards a pregnant woman. So it's like, it's super awkward, and she just has to put up with it if she wants the money. And she might say, I'm fine with it, but you can't trust her because she has to say that she's fine with it. And then this in particular, you also say, quote, my female coworkers love working together and we're friends, end quote. But we know for a fact that is not true. Former co-host and co-founder of the Publica, Sydney Watson, which if you don't know, a long time ago, Jeremy Hambly tried to set up his own news site called the Publica. And he co-founded this with Sydney Watson, who, if I remember correctly, is like a real journalist. And she has an actual history of journalism. So this was another thing. This, by the way, I remember because it happened during the coffee brand coffee fiasco, where he had just set up the Publica and he was already like threatening to fire her and let her go, which eventually they did because he wasn't making enough money to justify it. So Sydney Watson is evidently very unhappy, probably because of the on-screen sexual harassment she was subjected to. Despite your claims, she does appear to be subject to an NDA. And this, I was thinking about this, and I realized that he directly contradicted me in his message about how he says there were no NDAs. And I thought, you know what? I bet you this is a fucking little Rakita lie. A little ratatouille rat Rakita lie. I bet you he doesn't have an NDA. He has a non-disparagement clause. Or maybe a non-disparagement clause, which is not technically an NDA. Oh, I never said we had an NDA. Or I never said we don't have a non-disparagement clause. That's just bog standard in our contracts, tee-hee. That's the exact fucking thing he would say if he ever got found out. If Sydney Watson published their contract and be like, well, I never said that. I never said we didn't have a non-disparagement clause. And then narcissist prayer. Okay, so I was found out my lie. Then it's normal, but it's totally normal for people to have that in communications. It's standard with the boilerplate template. So even if I did lie, it's okay anyways. Fuck you, bitch. That kind of shit. I know your type. I know you. I know you better than you know yourself. And then he says, this post does, this post does three things. One, it admits that PPP is getting to you, which it does. Two, you have learned nothing. He didn't. And three, you will continue to cause the same problems for yourself. He has. And then finally, P.S., Rakita also does the smiley face cope smiley thing. I was able to post this, by the way, because he was following me. Now, if I go to this, I was not one of the 90 people who could reply to this because he's not following me. And I am blocked. So he has blocked me in the past, unblocked me because of the Peppa Pigskin coffee review, followed me, tried to solicit favors by offering me his unwavering support for the Kiwi farms, and then blocked me again. He has blocked me like 3 different fucking times on Twitter, and I've changed my stance towards him not at all, okay? Oh, also, let's scroll down here. Started report, Jade McNeil, shoe on head. He hid it. He hid it. He hid my message, which laid out in plain fucking English how he was fucking everything up. That's the thanks I got. He blocked me and hid my post. Unforgivable. Okay. But he didn't bother to block and hide Shoes posts. He just dropped that she had nudes, by the way, for anyone interested. Very nice. Very cool. So then he's coping after this, oh, I'm totally done thing. He posted a picture of the beach. Shame influencers, it's the only way. He says, this is the way. No sense of shame or self-awareness whatsoever. Yeah, shame influencers except me, because then it's attacking my family and causing my wife emotional duress. PPP says, any shame on this about this statement where you invite your bull and his big-tittied wife into your hot tub? You humiliate your own wife constantly, not me. Shame on you, Jer. Shame. And I think this is here we go.
Let me tell you this about
Venti. Show as much as the host do either.
I would give everything I had to have babies with that girl. Even though all my kids look like sharks, I'm in. So tell me about the other 2 types of.
That's your wife, though. Does your wife know the coordinating we want to have with?
Oh yeah, I'm very open about it. She's cool with it.
Okay. So the other three types actually.
So the awkward laugh V does after that is V, the Romanian gimp fed or milk fed gimp, the gypsy himself, awkwardly laughed because he was made uncomfortable by quartering. Now, I'm sure, in my opinion, I think they have an open marriage. So I'm sure she is okay because at this point she's just given up. But honestly, let's just hear it again one more time.
Let me tell you
He
this about
didn't show as
Venti.
much
I
as the
would
host do either.
I would give everything I had to have babies with that girl.
He would give everything he has, all of his Funko Pops, his 6 German Shepherds, his mansion, his wife, her private jet, his Rumble channel, to impregnate Brittany Venti.
Even though all my kids look like sharks,
Even though he thinks she's ugly. So if I was Brittany Venti, I would be utterly mortified by this comment. And honestly, I would feel threatened by it. Because you know what? If he's not attracted to her and he's willing to give everything that he has to impregnate her, that sounds really rapey. That sounds like he fucking hates her and has fantasies about raping and impregnating her because he's not attracted to her. He doesn't like her. And he's willing to burn down his entire life to get at her. And it's just like it's like really fucking creepy. And that's why even the fucking milk-fed gimp himself, V, could not sit there straight face. He had to laugh to relieve tension because it was so fucking weird. And then he made this message saying, I am acting a little female-coded lately in response to Brittany Venti, because after deciding I was no longer an adequate therapist, he then went to the only other person on planet Earth with eyes as wide set as mine. Maybe it like hypnotizes him or something, and decided to chat up Venti and get her therapy for free. So Brittany replies and says, Jeremy, I don't want your ham babies. Very good reply. I told him very clearly I was not interested in messaging him privately, considering how he denied reality and twisted things with Josh Moon. He proceeds to privately message me anyways. Why he could have tweeted. I don't want him to have an opportunity to twist things. And I think this is a conversation excerpt from Brittany Venti. Oh, okay, I know what this is. So I just want to be able to say I did everything I could for finding a good husband. So Hambly posted this to try and epically own Brittany Venti. Brittany Venti, if you don't know, is 29 years old, which is important because it's something that Hambly says here in a second. But she's lamenting that she can't find a trad husband, which, if you really think about it, it's fucking dire out there for the dating market. Imagine trying to find a man in current year who is not a porn-addicted, gooning piece of shit like Jeremy Hambly. You're going to be fucking hard-pressed, especially as like an internet person, okay? So she's lamenting this fact to Hambly, which she probably shouldn't be doing because Hambly has stated on record that he intends to impregnate her regardless of what it costs him personally. And he says this, well, at least be open to coming back someday, and if you ever need anything, blank. He then messages her again, for no reason the next day, saying anything I can do to help. I guess trying to imply that maybe I can be your husband, Brittany Venti. Brittany Venti, picking up on what he's putting down, says, at the moment, no, thank you for asking. And then he says, a year later, I have always tried to defend you, which is, I hate to keep invoking the snake's name, man, but he keeps doing it. I have always tried to defend you. So she owes him, basically. She owes him the ham babies. She owes him the litter of ham pups, okay? I have no idea where this baby in the belly thing is. If it was a cringe joke, I apologize. I have no idea why you would turn so hard here. You can make whatever content you want. Jeremy, let me explain this. I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but let me just say, here's what's happening. There's blood in the fucking water, and everyone who you've ever made a creepy, weird, unsolicited, sexually charged remark to is just waiting for the day to stab you in the fucking back. When it rains, it pours, and it's pouring pretty hard right now. And you have Sydney Watson, you have Brittany Venti, you have her best friend, you have Hannah Claire, you have Melanie Mack, you have like an entire, like, auditorium of women that you've made weird passes at that are just going to dump their shit on you as soon as it's a benefit to them. That's how it goes. Brittany Venti and Kick Chat. Hello, Brittany Venti. Anyways, I am not sure why you would turn so hard here. You can make whatever content you want. It's like whatever, but you know this shit is all bullshit. And if anyone knows what it's like to have fake shit spread about them, you do. Again, I have no idea about the baby in the belly stuff. Whatever it is was. If it offended you, I would. Which I assume is this clip. Does he say that?
That girl. Even though all my kids, I would give everything I had to have babies with that girl.
Is there another comment that he made that's like weird and sexually charged? Let me put my thing on my other screen so I can see the chat better. Ah, fuck. Oh, I didn't close it. I thought I closed it. I almost panicked. Okay. I don't know. It's probably a different comment, I'm assuming. Probably made several comments like this. I am acting a little female coded today. It's just the worst possible fucking thing you can say, knowing that it's going to be posted online. Lately, but I have always had your back. It's just so weird that now you're willing to assume the absolute worst about me. Sorry about the block. Have a great week. He doesn't understand that when he talks to a random woman and he says, yeah, I would sacrifice my entire life to knock you up, even though you're ugly to me, which is literally what he said, that they're going to say whatever she did and just be like, yeah, whatever, weirdo, and just be really non-confrontational. But they're not going to like forget that. It's like always going to be bad blood between you. He doesn't understand that shit like that adds up. People remember stuff like that. He deleted this tweet apparently. So he's the one that posted this, which is just preposterous. He says, since we're leaking DMs, Brittany Venti, share the whole thing. I read the whole thing and I thought that she posted it for a second because it's like, who the fuck would post this in public? Not only did I reach out to you when you were going through a rough time, I apologize to you if you were offended. I have never been anything but kind to you. You did not tell me not to message you anywhere I saw. She says, you just cannot stop lying. And then she highlights the thing about our conversation, how she posted it publicly to avoid being twisted. And that's that. Okay. Now, I have more miscellaneous clips of Jeremy Hambly being disgusting, and that will round out my Hambly segment. So,
Brittany Venti has said on a live stream a little bit ago that
let me cut the gain up for everybody.
A live stream a little bit ago that women have come into her DM saying that you're a creep. Any comments? Oh, I think she should release it. I think she should release them.
Look at him seething. Look at him seething. Furious with this.
Brittany, release them. Release all the women who have come into your DM saying I'm creepy. Release it.
Do it.
I mean, nothing more powerful than a clean conscience, boys.
Implying that his conscience is laden with filth and regret. It's grimy. His conscience isn't clean. He's filled with remorse. He regrets his actions. He should stop drinking. Chaser! Shot chaser! Buddy! It's like an Ethan Ralph Nick Rekieta situation. It's finally we have what we've all been waiting for. Ethan Rekieta in the flesh.
Brittany, release him. Put him out there. Do I just ignore the scroll to come back later?
Oh, by the way, I don't even know why. I don't know if this is actually a reference to Rekieta or if this is just a meme that just floats out in the ether, but I've always referred to Baldur's Gate as Baldo's Gate because that game came out, I think, in the middle of the Rekieta drama. I don't know if he ever played it, but the fact that he's playing Baldur's Gate is like a meta level of funny to me, and that might even just be an in-joke between me and like friends. But I don't know. It's extra funny to me is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else. Two more. Okay, so this is Adam Seller, the guy who he didn't know had a creepy past and who he hasn't talked to since the information came out that he is a violent cuckold, or violent bull, rather. Don't mess with the bull, you get the horns. Him and Adam are going out for some darts.
Our world, the abyss, and reality itself will unravel.
That's so quiet.
You must restore
Is Adam
the
coming over
balance
today? No, we have
before
darts
it's too
probably
late.
next week.
I don't know what
Quote
you
more
mean.
about Brittany Venti. Nobody gives a
Such
fuck about that
grand
dumb bitch.
undertaking.
Are you joking? You guys do,
Begins with
because
small
she's about 40 and she's
that
still
will have
single and
a
childless.
profound effect
That.
on the fate of your world.
Okay. That is. Let's hear it again one more time.
Guys do,
Begins with
because
small
she's about 40 and she's
that
still
will have
single and
a
childless.
profound effect
First of all, he wanted to say she hit the wall. He restrains himself there for some reason. I don't know why. I suppose that he can't. Jeremy Hambly lacked the fortitude to say that he did not find Brittany Venti sexually attractive. He just didn't have it in him. He couldn't say that she hit the wall because to him, she's so beautiful. And he just couldn't do it. So he had to pivot there, which is already kind of fucking weird. But then he says that she's 40 and childless. She's 29. You know who's 40 and childless, Jeremy Hambly? Jeremy Hambly and his wife, Heather Hambly. They're both 40 and childless. It sounds like projection there. You know who's not 40 and childless? She's 29. She's not even 30. There's a 14-year age gap between Brittany Venti and Jeremy Hambly. So what the fuck are you saying? That's just nuts. It's nuts, so man. And how can you make disparaging comments about a woman like that when you're married to a woman who tried and failed to conceive? You're going to taunt somebody for not having kids when you try. And I'm sure that's the most painful thing in her fucking life is that she can't have kids anymore. And you're going to fling that shit around at random people because they're making fun of you? And what if your wife hears that? That's your opinion. She's hit the wall and she's 40 and childless. The most disgusting, despicable state that a woman could ever possibly exist with just so happens to also be his wife. There's no fucking way that this conversation isn't happening in real life. You're fucking 40 and childless, bitch. I don't want to hear about that fucking bull ever again. You've ruined my career. Psh, shot glass, the coffee brand coffee shot glass, scattering across the ground. Like in a fit of fucking rage. Like, come on, bro. Just vile. Vile.
on the fate of your world.
Maybe she'll marry you. If you just spam my chat hard enough, maybe, just maybe you can be the one to clean the cat's litter boxes in her house. Is it your birthday tomorrow? No, Sunday. How big are Adam's wife's tits for real? Oh, they're gigantic, bro. They're huge.
He was talking about how attractive Adam Seller's wife is. And that was another thing where it's like, is this like a cucking thing for real? Because it sounds like a cucking thing. When you're talking about how big your wife's bull's say that 5 times fast. Your wife's wife's tits are, it sounds like an open marriage to me. Next, that was just from his Baldo stream, like on yesterday, and then Melanie Mac posted this. Perhaps the most confusing thing of the entire debacle. Melanie Mac says this: the quartering is the realest friend I've ever made in the space. It's no coincidence that after he gave his life to Christ, the attacks and lies on him have increased rapidly. Satan, the accuser, is working through some filthy roaches. Fuck you, bitch. Like, what the fuck? What a dumb cunt. Like, here, you want to, hey, Melanie Mac, you want to know what Jeremy Hambly thinks about you? Hold up. Let's put this on the screen together. Let's juxtapose this real quick. I'm going to do a little in-camera editing here for dramatic effect. We're going to put this on screen. Inshallah, I'll be able to put this on fucking screen. Okay, great. There it is. Put it right down here in the middle. Okay. And put the gain back up. And
Who have come into your DM saying, I mean, nothing more powerful than a clean conscience, boys.
wait, is that not the one? No, that's the shot chaser one. It's the other one.
Is it your birthday tomorrow? No, Sunday. How big are Adam's wife?
Wait, no.
Just maybe you can be the one to clean the cat's litter boxes. If you just spam, maybe she'll marry you. If you just
where's the clip? Where's the clip about Brittany Vinny?
On the faith.
she's about 40 and she's still single and childless.
There we go.
Do because she's about 40 and she's still single and childless.
Let's confuse things a little bit more, shall we? Let's just remove the clutter on my screen here. Okay, let's just remove the clutter on my screen here.
She's about 40 and she's still single and childless. She's about 40 and she's still single and childless. Because she's about 40 and she's still single and childless.
It's true. She finally did get married to a Filipino, so she's not single. But I don't know. Before she got married, that's what Jeremy Hambly was thinking about her, I guess. It's the hypocrisy, chat. The idea that Satan has to lie about Jeremy Hambly is preposterous. It's the same shit as fucking, as you know who. Let's see. I don't know what this. Oh, I think this is an old clip. The people did a bunch of digging to find old clips after the drama.
Being married calm a man down, or do you get used to it? It doesn't calm you down. You get used to it. I'm just being honest. I want to fuck all the time. I want to fuck all the beautiful women, and I want to spread my seed everywhere. Being married does not change that. Oliver D, yeah, Warski restarted
One more
making
time, 'cause it was a
creating
bit
content,
quiet.
or do you get used to it? It doesn't calm you down. You get used to it. I'm just being honest. I want to fuck all the time. I want to fuck all the beautiful women, and I want to spread my seed everywhere. Being married.
So drunk Hambly, again slurring his words, admits openly that his. Let me put Manly Mac on about the good Christian man. The good Christian man who is married before God has this to say about his marriage. No, it does not abide his sexual appetite in any way, shape, or form. And every single woman that he considers beautiful, he wants to fuck all the time. So if you were a beautiful woman that Jeremy Hambly finds attractive, he would want to fuck you and impregnate you all the time. I wonder who that could apply to. Could it be? No. He's found Christ, chat. You have to forgive.
I don't know what I'm going on yet. So 11:25.
Ooh, you guys are so lucky I turned the gain off as a precaution before playing. You guys are fucking lucky.
It's Jacqueline Glenn, who I will definitely get a picture of in bed with me. David Smalley, Creationist Cat. Farron Myers is training too. Creationist Cat. See as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. Yeah, I will say this about Brittany.
Oh my god. What? Why? What about Brittany Venti is so alluring to him? Why?
If you know who she is on Twitter, she'll oftentimes post like, nude pics of herself and whatever. I wouldn't put her at like even.
What do you say?
If you know who she is on Twitter, she'll oftentimes post like, nude pics of herself and what.
No, I don't think so.
Whatever.
That's not true, is it?
I wouldn't put her at like even an 8 out of 10, but she also is like one of those chicks that like understands where she's at. She's like.
Okay, but wait. What issues are facing the trans world? We've talked about the bathroom.
Dude, he's such a negger. He's a fucking hard R negger. His whole shtick, everything he says to Brittany Venti is that he thinks she's ugly, but attainable. Yeah, this bitch probably would let me knock her up. She's not an 8 of 10, but she knows she's not. So therefore, I can have sex with her as I please. Like, that's what he's doing. This is a fucking negger. I hate neggers, man. That shit is like manipulative and deceitful, and it's designed to break people down. Fuck this negger.
Are they going to go into you wear glasses? You need
I always wear
secret secret camera in your glasses live stream the whole thing from your point of view.
I have glasses that record,
Yes.
but they don't Bluetooth to my phone. It would be,
And then the whole time just be staring at Jacqueline Glenn's tits. That'd be awesome.
they're delicious. She's beautiful.
Oh man, I'm like getting hit with like psychic goon waves off this fucking guy. It's causing me like mental damage. I'm accruing fucking DPS on my brain.
Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a quote dinner break, which means everyone gets a fucking Subway sub.
Ooh, Subway, pleasant. Okay, and then so this is probably not even responding to what's on the screen.
Okay, Allie. All right, I'll get you in here, Allie. Allie Drummond, okay? Okay, I'm going to require cam on for her. Okay, Ventia's going to be here.
I'm going to require. Listen here. This is part of the exchange. I will put you on my wonderful pedestal, the quartering, expose you to 4 million people, 8 million people, 22 million people via my YouTube channel. However, you must understand that this is an exchange, and your part of the deal is that I get to pretend I am beset on all sides by beautiful women. So if you would like your exposure, you need to make sure that your pretty little face is right next to mine so everyone knows that I am a big deal and I pull mad bitches. Let's make sure that we're understood here.
We're about to bring on all the boobies.
Oh,
I need a vagine in this chat so I can go pee.
Oh my God, bro.
One of these girls better show up.
One of these trifling bitches better show up on my stream, god damn it.
Shout out to the 6. I'm gonna have a Boobs McGee in 2 minutes. If you want boobas, you have to get me everyone who's watching.
Spiritually
You want
Indian.
me to bring you
Dude,
boobas?
he really is spiritually Indian. He has like a bullshit degree in business. He didn't go into his actual line of work. He's like trying to push all these fucking bullshit white label products. He acts like such a big deal. My good sir, I get 60,000 live viewers across all of my channels. Mr. Evil Eddie, sir, would you be interested in doing business, sir? However, for my Izzat, sir, you must terminate the dreadful, vicious lies perpetrated by the Kino Casino, sir. Also, if you have any bobs in Vagina, I would be pleasing to take some.
Leave a like on the video. Okay, so let me tell you this. I said I would bring you.
What is the message that it's responding to? Batgoat says, same one, I'm a fat, dumb, unhappy in Cali for another few days to week. They home to... This guy, dude, the quarterings viewers must be properly fucking dented, because this is not... This ain't English.
Let me tell you this. I said I would bring you mad cleavage. Allie is in the waiting room wearing only a bra. And if there isn't
married man, by the way,
5,000 likes on this video, she's going to put on a lame ass burgundy sweater to join the stream. So leave
married pregnant woman. She's pregnant during this? Oh, lady, get some respect.
Like right now. And then I'm going to bring Allie on. I'm going to run. I'm going to grab a water real quick. And then I'm going to bring Allie on. And if you don't leave enough likes, then she's going to be wearing some sort
Hey, Venti, I found one. Josh Berg for $20. He's asking you out.
of magenta burgundy sweater.
Some water. Yeah. Some spicy water.
All right, here we go. Allie, put your shirt on. Jesus, your boobs are hanging out.
Dude, that's vile. Any woman who would tolerate this kind of comment from a man and not immediately ditch needs to work on their fucking self-respect, because that's ridiculous. His wife even tolerating this is like, do you have like a fucking backbone? What's wrong with you?
These ladies, it must be because of Allie. Allie, Drummond, welcome to the stream. How are you?
Oh, I remember. She's just sitting there in the burgundy sweater. And okay. Sorry, I didn't know who this was, and now it's really obvious looking at her. He's making really disgusting sexual comments about her to her fucking face, and she's just sitting there in a sweater the entire time. Wow. Yeah, she should have left. Yeah, she should have left.
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm killing it.
Oh, she seems so happy now.
I'm doing all right.
Crushing it per usual. Yeah.
Eyes to the ground, not able to make eye contact because she's really embarrassed. That's fucking mean.
Yeah, I didn't think that anybody would be into pregnant chicks, but hey, I guess the internet's a big place, so maybe they are.
Subtly hinting, I'm pregnant and married, you fucking degenerate freak. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then, of course, look at that expression. Does that look like the face of a man who is not up for a challenge? Who cannot rise to the occasion? Oh, boy.
Look, I mean, here's what a lot of people already know. I mean, you might be new to it, but I'm very progressive.
Oh, okay.
So if you're into prego chicks, that's literally like they need loving too. It's fine, you know. It's not a weird thing for me. Mods, please put at Real Femme Sapien Allie Drummond. She also has an OnlyFans where she sells breast milk pictures.
Bro, that is fucking vile to say about somebody.
Stuff like that. So, Allie, I mean, we've only ever exchanged nudes online. So, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. My husband actually likes your
My husband. Can you take a hint, Jer Bear? Alarm, not interested. Please shut the fuck up.
Content. And I didn't even know that you had reacted to my content before. It took a while for me to realize. I think maybe you had done a short or two, and I was like, oh, this guy knows I'm alive. Very cool. So that was neat. I didn't even think you looked at my channel like.
Wow, I can't believe it. This big YouTuber wants to talk about all these things I'm so proud of. He's inviting me onto his channel so I get to advertise my work and the things that I do, and I'm so happy for this. And then she gets on and is like, "Show me your titties, bitch." Pull it off. What's that fucking sweater? That ugly ass sweater. And then she's realizing oh, this guy just wants to fuck me. And he probably jerks off to me. That's really gross.
That
Well, it's obviously before.
Imagine, honestly, I hate to be posky here, but imagine how demoralizing it is to think that you have an in with somebody because they're interested in what you do and your career, and then you realize, oh, he's just trying to fuck me, and he doesn't give a single solitary fuck about any of the shit I want to talk about.
You're pregnant. Now that I know you're pregnant, I've moved on. I don't give a shit if you're bursting at the seams pregnant. You need to put out a new video by Monday, okay? Do we agree? By Monday?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was probably going to stream tomorrow.
No.
Oh, dude. He's doing a thing where it's he's giving her an order so that if she'll be like, yes, daddy, of course I'll go do that. And she recognizes this and immediately has to be like, well, I'm streaming anyways that day. So that he can't gratify himself thinking that he calls her to do something.
No, don't say that by Monday because I told you.
Yeah,
I've never seen this clip before, by the way.
That's because you told me, and you have way more subscribers than me, so I'm gonna make the video. You got it.
Kalia, please link her YouTube channel, and every video she puts up from here out forward is because I told her to. I just said, bearing on before you, kind of a big deal to follow, but
yeah.
Even me, who Tim refused to say the quartering, which is obviously my YouTube channel. Subscribe today if you want a big peepee or big boobies. He calls me Jeremy Hambly, my legal name. I mean, you have almost 150,000 subscribers. You're not small boobs, you're
Dude.
Well, I still feel small because you ever meet somebody who has a big YouTube channel and they start acting like they're famous and you're like,
never.
Wow.
I don't kick it with people like that. And I'm on a spectrum too. I'm diagnosed.
You ever met Jeremy Hambly, this fucking blowhard piece of shit?
Asperger's, so I can say it.
Oh, what?
But
you seem like very normal. What?
Yeah. Shout out Asperger's crew. let me first before. So you jumped in
I
because
did.
you demanded it. You sent me all sorts of weird nudes, but like,
Dude,
Mhm.
I don't think you're ready.
dude, he's so gross. Like I'm sorry to keep pausing, but it's like I need like a break. I need like reprieve from this fucking barrage of like psychological abuse I'm being exposed to.
This. I can see you have this weird Greek restaurant background behind you.
How dare you?
How dare- But like, I have to go and pick up my dog's poop tomorrow morning. Okay.
Yes.
So no matter how
Fascinating.
many zillions I make on YouTube, I have to put my dog's poop in my hand
Zillions.
and then put it in a garbage bag. You know, Jeremy found his wife on Epstein out. No, I like fully developed gigantic boobs. You're not gonna find that on 12-year-olds.
Mhm.
I'm a boob guy. Okay.
Dude, she's like literally just texting. She's probably like texting her husband, like, don't ever put me on show with this fucking guy ever again.
Okay. This is what's my alley.
Mhm.
In private, if we were just hanging out in the champagne room, which we normally would, unless other than you being gigantically pregnant.
Ah, thank you.
Like, but like, I would be like, Allie, are you freaking kidding me right now? I'll send Anna the link. Okay.
Oh, you want her to come? Okay. I have it for her.
I want
Yes!
all women to come, Allie.
all the chicks.
Finally, I need backup. SOS.
I mean, all women, yeah. But like, I'll send it to her. I have her DMs.
I don't even know how she made her way on the right. And this the right conservative. I don't know, whatever the heck you want to call it, right? The good wholesome people.
Center right conservative
Yeah.
space or whatever.
I don't even know how she ended up over there. Anytime somebody gets canceled,
I have to guess. I don't know.
yeah.
There are many prominent conservatives who DM'd me and were like, bro, I really want to call her out, but or like, I mean, like, I'll drop them all. Like, I don't my viewers, you know, there's 5,500 people here right
like
now.
they wanted to call that lizard chick.
Yeah, of course.
What do they want to call her for? What for?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Like, my viewers know that I literally never say shit that I can't back up. So like, do I want to ruin these guys' career?
Oh.
Not really.
He's such a fucking trip. They pulled this up because it's so uncomfortable because he's being gross and weird, but like, let's shift back to the PPP thing. He's always had this mindset. That he's like a kingmaker and he can wipe people off the face of the fucking internet whenever it conveniences and pleases him.
No, but I'm gonna say something that you can't say, but I know you'll agree with.
Probably.
Is like, dude, on the right, they suck balls. Like, I will prove everything, you know, I mean, like, I'll say this guy's a cuck or whatever. If a girl says it, it doesn't matter. If a guy says it, he's also a cuck. So like, I've been around this space for a long, like, I have a partner in a pod.
Did he just say he's very... Hold on.
Around this says, if a girl, you know, I mean, like, I'll say this guy's a cuck or whatever. If a girl says it, it doesn't matter. If a guy says it, he's also a cuck. So like, I've been around this space for a long, like, I have a partner in a podcast that I do.
Oh yeah, I love her. Well,
he's basically saying that he's very familiar with cuck culture. Is what he's saying.
Love her too. Yeah, we both love her. Yeah, we both love her, but I don't want to like drag her through. Maybe Anna.
Hello.
Oh my lord!
I love how much women hate her just because she's so beautiful. Like that can't not be the reason. Like, you're obnoxiously gorgeous. It's not fair.
Fuck off. Be uglier, Anna. Gross.
Please do it for me.
I was pretty ugly before I learned how to do my hair and my eyebrows.
Oh yeah, and you were blessed with gigantic boobs.
I mean,
I'm bringing Brittany in,
dude. Okay. Oh, Brittany Vent. God, there's like a trend here. It's like the entire Brittany Venti Jeremy Hambly ensemble. So he's gotten. This is definitely a thing where he's like, I have to surround myself with women to show what a hotshot I am. So he got Allie, who apparently I looked her up. Apparently she's like a trad wife, like LARPer. I don't know who she is. Maybe she's nice. I don't know who the fuck that Star Wars girl is, but it's very obvious what she's doing. And then you got Brittany Venti. Okay, so he's like trying to build himself like in his mind, this is the first brick. This is the cornerstone laid for his ideal harem. Okay.
Brittany, are you? This article is also clearly referencing you, Brittany. Since when did you eat human? When did you start eating humans? And by the way,
all three women in complete shock and disgust at that comment, and with no possible understanding of how to respond to this.
Britt, are you live too right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so Brittany Venti is also live, and if you go to her channel to watch, she has a nip slip. I don't want to say when, but it does happen.
Oh, dude, the ick. She's not even doing like, dude. And Allie's smiling at her like, haha. Now you know what I'm talking about. And so, look at the fucking smirk of this. Like, it's like a downward smirk. Watch her face. She's gonna like the corner of her lip will go at 45 degrees in like the slightest downturn curl ever.
But it does happen.
She and her best friend Amanda started this shit.
Anna, why are you such a bitch?
I'm not starting my fucking self.
Am I supposed to believe that Tim Pool didn't jerk off into a fucking McDonald's napkin reading this?
Oh my god.
Thank you so much, Quartering, for having me on.
Britt, are you live right now?
On. Yeah.
Are you live right now? Yeah. So
Yeah,
if you want, I'm not going to be offended. Brittany said she's going to pop a nip later. Maybe.
Dude, he did it again. He did it again.
Brittany said she's going to pop a nip later. Maybe.
No reaction, no response. Like, you can just see in her eyes, she's like desperately trying to figure out how to disconnect from this fucking call, like as quickly as possible with utter urgency.
Of Tim's regular guests and or current staffers have done porn.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally. I mean, like it's kind of weird, Allie. Yeah, I know you see, but like, I mean, like between Cassandra,
honestly,
Jack.
Yeah, good for her for leaving. Like, that's the correct move. I have no idea why either of these women subjected themselves to this. Like, especially after she left, like that should have set the stage. Like, okay, it's time to fucking go. Like, this is ridiculous.
Murphy, Eliza Blue. Like, is that a requirement for like? I mean, I haven't done any porn that I've known about, but I've been on the show. So, like, is that? He seems to have people around him that have done.
This is such an
either
utter
porn
humiliation.
Or cheated on their husbands to have the beanie weenie.
I would literally kill myself. If I had a stream like this, that's it. I'm gone. You'll never know. Did he move back to Serbia? Did he change his name? Did he kill himself? Nobody would ever fucking know.
And like, it's a little sus. I think you're probably going live, girl, right? You're going live.
Yeah, in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so go watch her channel if you're interested in hot takes from a cool young lady.
Oh, well,
and you know, she's like deep into Star Wars lore and all the lore of shit. She's so much smarter than me.
He's so drunk. He's having to close his eye to see his screen. It's so
so
well, thank you.
You know, as I wrap it up, don't ruin it. Let me just, you know,
don't interrupt me. Do it again. He's doing the creepy thing where it's like, don't interrupt me. I'm doing your tag. Don't fucking interrupt me. It's just also, it shows you how he does the thing where it's like he tries to be nice, like I'm shilling your channel, while also being rude at the same time.
But yeah, Anna's a good girl, and she always
fucking creepy. A good girl. She doesn't interrupt me. She's a good girl.
You know, she's a ride or die kind of person, so that kind of matters.
Dude, her poker face, man. She could go into world poker. Look at that shit. You have no idea what's going on in that face. It's not a single positive thought, I'm sure. But if you are a schmuck like Jeremy Hambly, you can't read that fucking face.
To me, so thank you for coming on, Anna. And I hope a bunch of people check out your stream after I'm done. She may or may not post feet. You probably have to super chat. I don't know.
No,
$2,000.
Free because they're
no. $2,000 or $3,000, and then maybe C. So
Yeah, you can see my semi-web toes.
they're gross.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that
he can't like even elicit a reaction from them unless he's like making promises like that. And then she dips. And then there was one, and honestly, she should be fucking gone by
you
now
poop
too.
that baby out.
Ew, bro. How do you?
With minimal rippage, and
Bro, I can't get a second in. I'm taking psychic damage. I'm about to pass out. My HP bar is very low at this moment.
you know, if you want to follow Allie, and I'm going to read all the super chats after I release Allie, because she works. For me. She's one of my many.
I release, dude. The more of the fucking power trip language.
Dames in my stable.
So
Yeah,
I'm not
Allie,
really-
I put out fucking 7 videos a day. All right.
Yeah, I know.
You know, yeah. Put your boobs on the table, okay?
Bro, it's that, you know how when you play Pokemon and your Pokemon has really low HP and you hear that doo 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 doo. That's my fucking mind right now. Doo 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 doo.
Thanks for coming. Poop your baby out. I assume they come out of the butt because I'm a man and I've never seen it happen. So I assume that happens. So do that. And Allie, DM me if you need anything. So, I'm around.
Is this the woman he drank the breast milk of? No, you're full of shit. There's no way. Is this the woman? No, but he said that he has drank breast milk. Oh, so yeah. So he's like trying to get her on. He wants a bag. He's gonna try to get a bag of breast milk from every woman. He's gonna put it in that's like, you know how like serial killers like collect driver's licenses and panties and stuff. He's gonna have breast milk from all his victims.
See you later. Bye.
All right, bye.
Didn't even look up from the just trying to find the button. That is awful, bro. When was this? When fucking was this? That's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Oh, and then this is. So when Count Dankula and his wife, might have things have changed in the last couple of years, announced their pregnancy. And just their pregnancy. Actually, this is the gender reveal, so she's further along. But he says, "Congrats, buddy. Start the clock, boys." So he's saying, Dankula, we're friends. I'm counting down the days until I can legally fuck your daughter. Just awful. No, and then he does it again. He does the second tweet. That was the second one, like 14 minutes later. But then he says, the age of consent to any form of sexual activity is 16 for men and women. So he's counting down the days. Like literally, he makes the same joke twice. So grimy. Grimy boy. There's one more. I have a clip from Venti. I guess I'll play this first, and then I will find that one thing. Hold up.
Back in 2021, now I don't remember if I knew he was married at this time or whatever when he said this. He said that, I'll probably cover this later today, but can you let me know if Jess is single? So Jessica is my friend. She was, there was this whole thing with like Rob Breslau. He was trying to use his connection. He kind of pulled a quartering. He dangled a job in front of my friend Jessica's face and was like, get me a date with Brittany and I'll get you this job. I'll get you this connection. I exposed him for that. So I'm pretty sure that was the context for this. He was like, let me know if Jess is single. I have a hate crush on her. I'm sure you know that's
a hate crush. Again, with like the weird, like negging language where it's not like, oh, I think your friend is really cute. I would like to go out on a date with her. Can you pass it along? He's got to frame it as like, she disgusts me, but I still want to bang her. As like some kind of like weird, fucked up fetish. He's definitely into like power and control type shit. He comes across as like masochistic at this point.
Joke, but I'm compelled to say it. I think from thus far, from what we've seen, it's not been a joke. So this has been going on for a long time.
Okay, now that we have that, I have one more clip that was not on my roster, but I was thinking about it, and I don't think that this made it in for Media of the Year. This is December 2025. I am going to officially nominate this clip for Kiwi Farms Locale of the Year, Media of the Year. I might have to do multiple categories depending on how, because there was a lot of media last year. But I'm going to find some category for this because this deserves an honorable mention. This is one of my favorite things I've ever seen online, and I'm going to break this down for you. I've already covered this, but I love this clip so fucking much that I'm going to cover it again. So if you don't remember, I think that this was at, I want to say this was TP USA. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say this was TP USA. AmFest. Okay, AmFest, not TP USA. And he got a actual stall. And the whole thing was a fucking disaster. There was a whole scandal that PPP banged on about for a very long time about how he claimed he already bought the tickets and then was asking people to reimburse him because he variously claimed that he wasn't going unless people gave him money. Then he claimed that he had the tickets and wanted money back to like reimburse himself for the expenses. Yada, yada, yada. Whole point is he gets there. I think it's in Nevada or something. All of them are out of state. And so they're talking, and Jeremy Hambly is conspiring to get Melanie Mack, who at this time is not yet married, but maybe in a relationship, I don't know, is conspiring to get Melanie Mack back to his apartment. And we're going to break this down on a second-by-second basis, okay?
Yeah. Melanie and I will be watching the football game tonight, and...
Okay, Melanie and I will be watching the football game tonight. Melanie Mack has a face of utter fucking contempt as soon as he says this. But we need to look at the hero of this clip, Hannah Claire, who is a knight in shining fucking armor. Watch her face as soon as he says that, literally within a fraction of a second.
Night, and
her mouth opens.
And
she like gasps. She gasps hearing that. And look at that face. That's not a fair, like she's going to say, "Oh," but look, that's not a happy face. She's concerned. That message was not delivered to her. You would think her friend and coworker, Melanie Mack, would indicate to her if the boss was going to be spending some alone time with her after the thing. And so she looks at Melanie Mack after this and asks for some information. Is this true?
Hannah Claire will...
Eye contact immediately within seconds. It's like a dial-up modem. The handshake is initiating, and we're about to deliver message at approximately 3 kilobits per second. Okay,
we'll probably be going somewhere.
If you blinked, you missed it.
Be going somewhere family orientated.
I can't watch football with you guys.
Now, Melanie Mack has delivered her message to Hannah Claire, and Hannah Claire is booting up the response package, helpgf.exe. Her response package is to immediately interject herself into the conversation, which she does, or interject herself into the plan so that Melanie Mack is not alone with Hambly, who gives off dangerous, rapey vibes here.
Yeah, I would love that.
Oh, yeah.
Melanie Mack accepts. There is a full handshake. TLS has been established. There is now a secure pipeline between them, and they will be going together. Now, Melanie Mack accepts this before Jeremy Hambly has any opportunity to interject and say, "You're not fucking welcome, Hannah Claire. Get away from me." Now watch his reaction to knowing that his night plans have been completely ruined.
Wow, thanks, Melanie.
Look at that. Look, you can't get body language any more clear than that.
Wow, thanks, Melanie.
The look to the side. He looks to the side and rolls his eyes, defeated. This guy has been planning this night one-on-one with Melanie Mack for probably months. As soon as he knew that this convention center was happening and that they'd be going, he bought these tickets to put up this booth specifically because, in my opinion, it would be his only opportunity to get Melanie Mack fucked up and alone in person in his life. He has probably been fantasizing and goon maxing to what he was planning to do to her for months on fucking end. And then in this 1 second, literally in a 6-second span of time, it's over. And that's his reaction. That's his actual physical flinch to having his dreams crushed in the hands of Hannah Claire.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Wow, thanks, Melanie. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We just didn't know if you wanted to, but I would love
I'm
it.
great at watching sports, and by that I mean I'm solidly okay.
Well, yeah, well, we got to figure out where we're going to go. I have a dinner place I want to go, but I got to call.
Now he's lamenting. He even lined up a fancy invitation-only reservation restaurant for them to go to together, where I assume he would buy her copious amounts of alcohol, probably expensive alcohol, to show up to get her nice and liquored up, so she wouldn't. Because if he buys like a $800 bottle of wine, it's like, can she say no? Hambly's hoping she won't. So now he has to change his reservation. He says.
Okay. Football game tonight.
Now, check it out. Here's the slow-mo. Here's the slow-mo repeat, zoom and enhance of the TLS handshake, the girl-to-girl femboy communications. Check it out.
And Hannah Claire will probably be going somewhere. Claire will probably be going.
She literally mouths to her, "Help me." And she immediately, within a second of that, takes the opportunity to say that I wasn't invited, to which Melanie Mac says, of course you can. Of course you're Hannah Claire. Hannah Claire, my best friend and coworker. Of course you're invited. Which causes the flinch. Which causes the actual physical fucking pain.
Wow, thanks, Melanie.
My nighttime schemes that I've been scheming for months on end dashed in a second. Honestly, I don't say it very much because I feel like it's a little bit overused, but Kino, chat. Pure Kino. And so that is, I don't know if we have a list of media of the year for locale of the year for 2026 going yet, but it's got to be there. I know it happened December 2025, but you know what? It's got to be there. And she got engaged right after this clip. Well, I guess I got to make it official or I'm going to get fucking molested by my boss. Okay. Very cool.